I think I hear you through here.
That sounds better now.
Oh, there we go. No, there we go. Yeah, now it
Okay.
works. Now we're good.
All right. Yeah, definitely. It sounds different too. So whatever you did, definitely linked it better. So awesome. No, I mean we had Caswary pop in real quick, but we can just start and cover the personal stuff, you know. And I haven't heard from Elliot, but is he stopping by today?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
sure.
All right.
I mean, I think because I put the episode up, I'm gonna start putting them up earlier and promoting it
Yeah.
throughout the week. Like we didn't do that, so
No,
no
we'll
biggie.
get there. We've been talking about it. Episode 11, live on the Casper Standard. Hell of a week for both of us. But from last week to this week, you were in Colombia. you
Yeah,
you were in America last episode. You're in America this episode. But
I
the
am.
entire time in between, you were in Colombia.
I literally just cleared customs like 35 minutes ago.
Dude, the shit you do for this show. Appreciate it,
Yeah,
bud.
man. We gotta be here. We gotta have the conversations no matter how many show up. This stuff is recorded, so I appreciate it. I see Casper Linus in here. Good to see you.
What's up,
Um,
Linus?
but yeah, man, this is for the people, man. We gotta be here. We gotta do this. We gotta talk.
For sure. Were you able to do anything on the Casper Standard in Colombia?
No, no, no. Where I spent a lot of time reading in the apartment. It was a nice little apartment that I had, busy part of the town. But I walked around quite a bit. Um, no, I didn't get a chance. There was a Bitcoin bar there before, but it closed down.
Hmm.
I'm guessing because of, the market and what's happened this past year.
Maybe the service was too slow.
Yeah, maybe. But I ate good food. I hung out. I did get to see, a couple people that I know. I had a good time, man. Had a good time. So,
Awesome.
yeah, man.
No, that's great. That's great. And travel was easy. That's always
Yeah.
for me. That's always the hardest part. Is if travel doesn't go the right way, like your New York trip. If travel doesn't quite go the way you're expecting, and that becomes a hurdle, it takes me like 6 hours to decompress from the bullshit. You know what I mean? But if your travel in and out was money, then you start vacation
I'm
the
pre-
second you walk out the door. You know?
yeah, and I'm pretty easy going with it, man. I flow with it. Like even you brought up the New York thing. I'm like, yeah, that was a trip. But my brother was more the annoyed one
Yeah.
that was like going back and forth with things like that. But like I have TSA pre-check and global entry, so it's like I'm in and out of the airport. I'm already checked in. It's just like it's easy. I don't have to take off my shoe. None of that stuff. It's a little bit different coming back from the. I mean, I've gone to Colombia a handful of times, so no, man, it's easy,
No, hey man,
smooth sailing.
yeah, can't be mad at that at all.
Nah,
Traveling's always fun. Um, get to see new things, wake up in a different area. Um, for me, it's good. I always find it to just be like you just breathing a different set of air for a little bit. Just kind of helps reset the senses. You know what I mean? Gives you a new outlook. You're pretty much on the same plane everywhere you go. Um, but that I just something for me. Like I remember, you know, I mean, I guess France is pretty. I don't know. Like when I got to France when I was 19, I was like, you know what, or 20. I was like, man, this guy's a different color blue. The sky is it's not that blue over in America. And
really?
it's how it felt. That's how it
Okay.
felt. But it's also not very industrialized, right? And to that time, I was going to school in Philadelphia all the time. And the buildings were 10 times the height of anything in France. I guess France had a rule that nothing could be built higher than the power lines or some shit like that. So like 4 stories most. So whatever it was, like it wasn't nothing was really big there, and it felt like you maybe because I could see more, it felt that way. But I don't know. Yeah, I always find when you're out of your little bubble, you end up with for me like I end up with like heightened senses, and I can take in more. But I guess that's with a lot of things, whether you go transition from one particular field to the next, you're always kind of more engaged with what's around you.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that because I guess but you're right. It does. I mean, I think I've talked to you about how it feels different for me down there. As I was born in Panama, so that's what neighboring country. And I mean, Panama was got its independence from Colombia in 1903. Um, a lot of like my grandmother, her side of the family, some of them came up from Colombia. So
I didn't know that about Panama.
it
The
feel yeah,
Colombian
yeah, yeah,
territory.
yeah. Uh-huh. Um, I think the canal was built around that, a little bit after that, around when the Federal Reserve was formed. If I'm not, I should go back and look at some of that history. Um, I'm a product of all that. The people that came over from the mixture. We're mixed down there, man. But within my own family, like my mom's very light skinned, and then like I have an aunt who's dark skinned. Yeah, it's beautiful, but beautiful mix of people down there, man. Um, but yeah, yeah, no, no, it feels different because here in Florida, I think I talked about this. We're here in Florida, everything's flat
Yeah.
and it's hot, humid. It's hot down there too. I mean, I guess I've always been in the heat though, so I'm just used to it. Except for a couple of years in college up in Wisconsin. No, thank you. So it's cool to see it in pictures and in movies, but to live in it, I don't know how you do it, bro.
I think like something that you reminded me of is like how when you're in a space that feels ancestral, there's like just a different type of energy. Um, like I hate the beach, right? And when you look at my lineage, it's Irish and Italian. It's mountainous areas. It's not much beach going. My wife has Native American and uh, some Eastern European, and she loves the beach. And I think when you kind of tap into what culturally does it for you, um, that's where those feelings come from. So like I grew up in New York. Uh, Shouts to myself. It was my birthday yesterday. 41.
Happy birthday, bro.
Thank
Happy
you, brother.
birthday.
Thank you, brother.
Birthday month then. Birthday month, birthday week.
Well, short story short, because I could definitely go into a long story. I've had I grew up with a bad run on my birthday because of the weather, and I love the winter. I love the cold. Yesterday it was raining for a little bit, and then it started to flurry. So I stepped outside, and I was giving myself that childhood space to feel what I loved about my birthday as a kid because it doesn't snow anymore, right? Global warming, shouts. Um, in
Man.
100 years it'll snow like crazy. It's all cyclical. Anyway, um, no, like so for me, like growing up in New York and just loving the winters, the winter of '94 when I was 9, um, was one of the craziest winters of all time. Like we missed school for over a week because of how much snow was down. '96 was the same thing. I turned 11, and I like those birthday parties got canceled because of how much snow we had. So for as much as I love the winter, love the snow, love the cold, I think part of it is ancestral for me, but also just in my standard growing up. Man, I love the cold. I love the snow.
And was it like that more so because when my 4 years in Wisconsin,
Hmm.
I remember thinking it did not snow that much in those 4 years. So this is from 2000 to 2004.
Yeah, I mean, I moved.
And I
So I
remember
moved
hearing that people were like, "Oh,
here.
yeah, it was weird. It was weird that the snow didn't come down like it did before." And I would hear about it. I'd see it in pictures. There was a handful of times where it snowed, but it didn't stay around long when I was up there.
Yeah, when
Still
I
got
moved
cold.
to Delaware, it was in 2015, or I'm sorry, when I was 15 in 2020. So right around the same time that you were in Wisconsin, and I remember it snowing here, and it would literally melt the next day. And I'm like, oh, we're 3 hours south of where I grew up. Why is it not? But I think it's just climate wise, what's been going on with the climate since 2000. I mean, shit, we went out for the day on January 10th, and it rained all day long. And I just told my wife, I was like, man, if it was January, it'd be snow right now, right? Because that's what it was like, 25, 30 years ago. So I think it's just where we are as a particular climate. I don't get too caught up in climate change because there's, it used to snow in the middle of April back in the 1800s. You know what I mean? So like it's in my
Well,
opinion,
yeah,
it's cyclical. And at some point, it's going to start snowing heavy again. But yeah, I just think that's where we are. Like it's not gonna um yeah, it's just not gonna stick now for a little while. I mean, last year, it at least by me, it snowed once really bad last year to where we had to shovel, and then the rest of the season we didn't have to shovel at all. So yeah, it's crazy, but um, you know, it'd be nice to get more snow so the kids can enjoy it the way I did as a kid, but it doesn't seem like that's gonna happen.
let's pray for it. Watch
So
it snow like crazy and stay on the ground for 2 weeks
oh,
tomorrow.
yeah, I tell you, it shocked me because again, like it rained all day on the 10th, and it was like 46 degrees. And I looked outside and I was like, man, is it gonna rain? Yesterday on the 11th, and oh man, more rain. And then my son's like, it's snowing outside. So I go out, dude, for like 30 seconds, we had some flurries. I was like, you know what? That's good enough for me. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Like you said, you treat one seat though, and
Yeah.
there's only so many moments that I get as an adult to help me tap into those good childhood memories. Snow's definitely one of them. So that's something that'll never go for me. Like I'll go live in the Caribbean for 4 years and I'll miss the snow, but I'll know exactly why I'm there. You know what I mean? So like it's not I don't need it, but I definitely love having it when it's available. So
Yeah.
but yeah, birthday was cool. I like I said briefly, like I didn't have really good birthdays growing up. Being in the middle of the winter and it I don't know, I maybe two birthdays I remember, and they're vague. So my 19th birthday was the first one that I took control and had a great one for myself. I went to a Packers Eagles playoff game. The Packers lost because that's what happens when I go to games.
Shit.
Um, they lost on a it was a crazy game too, very famous in the lore of football, 4th and 26 that was converted. It was before instant replay too was in the game, and there was a bunch of Eagles fans told me like, "Oh, so glad we don't have replay." I was like, "Okay, so you shouldn't have got it, but you did." My Packers lost on a Saturday, in the same way that they let the Bears back into the other two games that they played. But at the end of the day, like we've talked about, and doing this show really does help. I tell you that, brother. Doing the
Yeah.
show,
I was gonna say you had a good attitude about it, man.
yeah, because we talked early on in the show 11 weeks ago when we first started, like how does football affect you, or watching sporting effects affect you, sporting events affect you, and I think the truth of the matter is when you remove yourself from what it is and you're like, well, you're on the couch, you're not in the game. What are you gonna do? Like so I loved it. I was hoping my team would do a certain thing and they didn't do it. And I can't control whether or not they do it. And the fact that they lost, I wasn't surprised. They had a 21-3 lead at halftime. 18-point lead used to be good enough. But just like in basketball nowadays, man, like the
Yeah,
score
man.
140-83. And it's like, what does that mean? The next time they play, the other team will win 120-90. And it's like, these scores just don't mean what they used to when we were growing up, and teams score so fast. Like I think we were up 27-16 with 6 minutes left. Um, it's a whole new game. Like the first 3 quarters of football go by like this, and then the fourth quarter lasts like an hour, and everything is just played differently. So, I knew there was a chance that we could win and we could lose. I told my buddy who's a Bears fan before the game even started. I think they released the betting lines the weekend before. I was like, Packers are favored by 1.5. The Bears should win by 10. Just a more complete football team right now. And so I went in not expecting to win. And then it was 21-3 at halftime, and I'm like, well, now I have hope. now I feel as a fan that my team should win, and they didn't, and that's all right. Like I said, I'm sitting on the couch. There's nothing I can do, and I knew my birthday was coming up the next day. I had a great day that day. My birthday was coming up the next day, and all I wanted to do was eat my cake all day long. I couldn't get it done. I had to finish it this morning.
I was gonna say, okay, you gotta,
And I
you
feel
gotta
like
get that.
because of it.
Nice.
The cake is eating me up. But no, man, it was great. It was great. 41. I have um I have a lot of time left. I have a lot of
Yeah,
time
man.
left. Even if I'm being um uh cautiously optimistic, like analyzing this, all four grandparents lived into 90 plus. So I have plenty of time. I have plenty of time, but these last 11 weeks have taught me not to worry about what could be the next 50 years and focus on today and just trying to be in this sovereignty that we found as a group, me and you, this mental sovereignty, this outlook that's brought us to sound money principles, and truly focus on what life in the Kaspa standard could be. Because I think Kaspa standard is truly a sovereignty standard, and it just so happens to materialize best right now as Kaspa.
Yeah, yeah, that's the truth, man. I mean, the concept of living in the now, I've talked about that a lot, obviously, but and then just getting excited. So I'm thinking of some of the voice notes that we've gone back and forth on, where you're like, bro, just let me fucking get excited about the future. I'm like, no, no, I'm not trying to bring you down, bro. I'm just trying to bring you here. Cause I am that guy that's like, okay, but what can we do about it now? But it is, what's important is that when the foundation is solid, man, the possibilities that are endless in terms of how you can navigate life.
Yeah.
And then, what does money do? Money's a resource. It's we're not supposed to be diluted of it. So, I just take it into my life and how I've structured things over specifically the past 7 years. Cause for me, it's been a physical, emotional, mental evolution. And it just makes sense. Like, I'm not one of those people that goes, man, I wish I would have gotten into, well, I did have Bitcoin in 2018, but it's like, I know that I didn't get presented Caspa until I was ready for it. I think that that's the way it happens for people. Maybe you get little glimmers of it and, um, things come up in your life so that you could be prepared to kind of see it so that you could benefit from it and understand what it is. So, I'm a little deep with it. Not a little deep. I'm pretty deep when it comes to any of this stuff. And it's just like, it's because I'm, at my core, I've really worked on staying open and taking things in for what they are and then having some fun with it, bro. Yeah. Cause we take this life way too serious, man. There's a lot of shitty things happening out there,
Oh,
and
1000%.
like, yeah, yeah. I really don't think it's supposed to be that big of a deal. Like we are here to, I haven't said this in a couple weeks, right? But like what the way I look at it, the purpose of life is to live, man. Like you got to live it, So if you're out there doing your thing, putting in your proof of work, being a good human, trying to get better, being of service to people. I mean, my life's an example of that, taking me to see things I did not think of, and yeah, man, I think it's possible. I am one of those people that thinks like it is possible for every single person if you're willing to go there and see it and willing to face what you need to face in order to get out of your own way. Because most of people's issues are right up here, man, between the ears and what they project and what they think. Um,
Absolutely. That's
and
where
there is some serious shit that people go through where they have to work through that, man. So it's not easy. I know it's not easy. But it's worth it. It's worth fucking facing whatever you got to face to come out on the other side of it and just, fucking vibe in a way where, oh shit, okay. Yeah. Like we talk about the sovereignty aspect of it.
Yeah.
So I'll never accept what we've heard as a narrative is like, oh, people don't care about their sovereignty. But people don't fucking know, man. Like most people are robots and do as they're told. So you can only get so far when that's how you function. Like you're trying to get validation from the outside or look for things from the outside. It's like it's all within us. The saying that I say with my boy every single day, like I am complete and I have everything within me that I need. So people just knew to go there, and however you go there, that's why it's like I'm not opposed to however you get there, whatever you believe in. We're all having these individual, unique life experiences, and they're all pretty cool. They're all pretty cool. We're actually not we're different, but we're not that different, you know. So yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing. So yeah, it's presenting itself as Caspa. Shout outs to Bitcoin though. Gotta shout it out. And yeah, man, there's a lot of beautiful things happening in the community. I mean, like this past week, what we heard from the KII, right? Warp Core. I put that little clip up. We had a little battle with. I appreciate you looking out for me
Yeah.
on that one tweet, but we handled that. We handled it, and we follow each other now. So just for people that are listening, like I made a little video and clipped out Rory and what he said about what Warpcore is, and somebody else like basically copied and pasted it like it was their own tweet, and Bishop didn't like that.
No, I don't. I don't stand
I
for
don't even know. I don't even notice. Like I don't know if it's happened before, but I appreciate you calling the guy out. And then instead of just being like, oh okay, like tagging, he just
he don't.
he
Yeah.
wasn't. Yeah, he was being a little punk about it, and we're like, all right, cool, good to know. But we hashed it out, and I'm like, bro, this isn't worth it. Like, what are we doing? Like, let's spread love through Caspa. We don't. And he finally, I guess, tagged me and made it all better. Um, but all this content isn't really mine, anyways, right? It's like we're putting this out there to educate people. So it's just like use some common sense, man.
Well, so I had that thought this morning too. I was like, man, you know what? In the vein of cryptocurrency, um, our voice, our tweets, our spread of information should be open source anyway. So if someone sees you and enjoys that content and thinks it should be spread, then spread it. Absolutely. I just think that when it comes to Caspa, there's not many, um, there's not enough trusted voices. And I particularly think that you are a trusted voice in this community, specifically to the ecosystem we have right now, right? For instance, I know I'm getting there, right? But
Yeah, for sure.
if I was to put live on the Caspa standard, the spaces on my account, less people would come in because less people follow me that are in Caspa that follow you, right? Like you basically organically grew your account through what's going
Caspa.
on.
I mean, it's like I didn't have an
Yeah,
account before
right.
July,
So,
really.
and mine's
So
basically through the wrestling community who haven't quite gravitated towards Caspa or even crypto at all. So to have to have your name taken off of that tweet, it bothered me the most because you're my boy, and I would fucking defend you. I did it with Kara when they were going after her in the Discord. It's like you can't pick a side and not lay out facts. We'll lay out facts all fucking day. And anybody can take anything we say. That's fine, but give us our credit so we can continue to help being a voice in the community to help spread exactly what you're trying to spread. So now people can follow Juan and say, okay, this is the type of shit that Juan's bringing. Awesome. And then when this guy who took the thing from you is posting something, you can then repost his stuff, and now we gain two voices in the community. And that's what bothered me the most was like if you're gonna try to pretend to be that voice, I'm not going to stand for it, especially when I know who that real voice is. So that's where I came from, and he had a point that it wasn't even you that was speaking. Sure, but you're creating the content for the community So here's a place you can trust for real content from the community, and that's at Juan at Glitch in 888. You know what I mean? So that's where I was like, you know what? No, I can't. No excuse became
Yeah.
going to make me feel good about it.
Yeah.
I was going to go hard, but he was lucky it was my birthday, so I just put it down when I got home.
Well, you know what was funny is when you sent me that, I mean, I obviously I clicked on it because you texted it to me, but and I noticed like right when you sent it to me, or maybe a little bit before, Caspa Commons like retweeted me. And I'm like, yeah, this is like common knowledge. If you don't create a post, you just and you want to create your own post, you quote it and
Right.
say whatever, so it was just like the same exact post. And so he had to, like, it took him more time. He had to literally go in there, download the video, and then like copy and paste like what I wrote and then post it as
All he
his
did
own.
is change the emoji at the end of the sentence. That was.
Yes.
I was like,
And then, yeah, I was just like, man, you did way more work than what you needed. Like, I'm the one who, you know, broke it down, whatever. I said I didn't care. And I wouldn't have noticed it because I didn't follow the guy. I follow him now. But I noticed he had a YouTube channel and I think he even interviewed like Caspa Silver or something like that. I'm like, bro, let's, promote each other's stuff.
yes, yes,
And
no,
that's it. We're good. This isn't about, this is an open, decentralized protocol. Like, we're the marketing team.
right.
So there's going to be a little bit of chaos like this and you got to kind of maybe set some things straight and hash it out and talk it out. And that's where I was the entire time. He called me an ego. And again, we're good. So in case he listens
That's
to
the
this,
most
but he called me like an
embarrassing.
ego drama lady. I'm like, okay, bro,
Like if
I'll let
one
people
guy,
speak for me. I'll
yeah,
let people speak for me. Like, okay, I'm the furthest thing from like my ego.
right.
I've
He's the
worked on
only guy
letting
in
that,
Caspo
I've
without a
worked on
point,
letting,
for sure.
I've worked on letting that go. Trust. No, the ego is not in charge. He's around, definitely there. We all have it, but ego death has happened for me. No doubt, man. Uh, so no, I mean, I kept being like, hey, this, this is what it is. And again, we squashed it. We're good.
Yeah.
Moving on. Appreciate you for that though.
Well, I tell you, no worries. It was a good lesson for me too because as much as I wanted to eviscerate him, um, I did end up dialing it back, and like my last warning shot to him was basically saying, "Don't be the one asshole in Caspa," because that's the thing that we've actually learned within Caspa is like nobody really we don't infight. We don't find
Yeah,
like
there
and
isn't
his
that.
page, that dude's page is flooded with Caspa content. He loves Caspa. So don't be the
Yeah.
one within this ecosystem to be like this. I'll do it on purpose, but not because I want attention, but because it's needed. This guy was doing it on purpose because he wanted attention. At least that's what it seemed like. And I hear you guys squash it, so that's cool.
Yeah.
He didn't apologize to me, so fuck him. I don't care. But no, in truth though, that was kind of the thing that I learned is like I could have been worse because I have been on wrestling Twitter. We defend each other all the time, and then I just stopped with that because it was just too much negative energy. But when I saw this one, it reminded me so much of that, and I said, you know what? That's what I told him. I was like, dude, just don't be the one asshole in Caspa. We don't have
Yeah.
any right now, so we don't need one. This community is way too supporting for that. And I know, like you said, if his content was still going, and what's funny enough, when I checked his YouTube channel, I saw that he streams games on Vivor. I believe I've actually sent him a tip before
Oh,
on his
really?
yeah, on his streams because every once in a while I go on Vivor and I want to send tips through there just to fucking keep the
Yeah.
ecosystem
Yeah.
get a thing like let's be on the Casper standard. Yeah, I think I've actually tipped them before, so
That's pretty cool.
he's welcome. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty much, a low drama weekend for sure. And Casper's legit. I want Cast me and Casper Linus are in here. They both sent me birthday wishes on Twitter. That was awesome. Appreciate that. Casper Linus wished me a very happy 14th birthday, which was hysterical. Um, it's funny because so I sent a picture of the cake on Twitter with the 41 candles on it, and of me like eating some right out of the container. Um, but I purposely turned the photo so the candles would say 41 because if it was to see how much I had eaten, it would have said 14. So I turned it so it wouldn't say 14, and then Casper Lioness was like, "Hey, happy 14th." I'm like, you know what? It was meant to be. It was meant to be.
Yeah. Nice.
Maybe that's how I felt yesterday. You know what? I did. I felt like a 14-year-old yesterday. I really did. Like I sat around in my sweats and ate cake, drank coffee until about 3 o'clock, and then I switched it to bourbon. And bourbon and carrot cake was so good together. Like
I can't imagine that combo, bro. But okay, I'll
I'm
take your word for it.
just living my life.
Bourbon and carrot cake?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
And I tell you, I grew up. I don't know how I had carrot cake for the first time, but I loved it. And then the older I got, different bakeries would experiment with different shit. Some carrot cake has pineapples and coconut in it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? As long as
Damn.
it's got walnuts and raisins in it, it's a spice cake with carrots. Like it's so good. And every year I usually do an ice cream cake because ice cream cake is dope.
It
This year,
is. No, no, I love ice cream cake
yeah,
too.
this year I was like, you know what? I just want a carrot cake and I want to eat it all day. That's it. So let's do let's do birthday candles in the morning. You know, no need to celebrate at night. We're not having a party. Let's do birthday candles in the morning, and I'll just eat the cake all day. She's like, "That's an amazing idea." I was like, "Cool, let's do it." Um, so yeah, I posted a couple updates on how long it was taking me to get through it. Yeah, I couldn't finish it yesterday, so I finished it this morning. That's it.
You finished it. Is
I
the
finished
important
it.
thing. You finished
Yeah,
it.
it's the most disgusting thing I've ever done was eating an entire cake in a day and a half. It's gross. I feel it. My whole body feels it. I got a detox going like a 5 day fast.
Oh, I'm actually starting one tomorrow. I'm in a little group
Really?
with yeah, yeah. I did my first, what is it, 72 hours? It's 3 days. I want to say 3, 4 months ago. I did it with I'll say he was in the group. It's Odie is in it. There's like 7 or 8 people that started it out. I think only 2 or 3 of us finished. This guy named Brady Middleton, but all Caspa people. Yeah.
Nice.
I woke up one morning and just was on, I was scrolling and I kind of felt like I needed something like that. And I've tried to do these fasts before and it was, it was hard to do it, but I soldiered through it. Water fast. And the only thing I do like pink Himalayan salts in the water, electrolytes. This time I'm going to go straight water and, um, so, salt.
Yeah.
But like I feel like my body's ready for it, especially after all the fun I had in Colombia. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. So and yeah, it just gets you on a different wavelength, bro. And I couldn't find any yoga studios because I wanted to get in some class. So I ended up just doing it. I didn't have a yoga mat or anything either. I ended up putting some towels down and um, I got inverted a handful of times during the week. But I feel ready. I'm prepped, man. I'm gonna start it tomorrow. So I have my last meal tonight at like 8. I'm gonna go at least 72. But, and here's the thing, bro, I'm not doing it for any reason except to just call it get closer to God. That's it. Like it's not about losing weight. It's not nothing. It's just, with what we're trying to do here on live on the Caspa Standard, I do think, having a little bit more structure, organization, promote, like I didn't put um, the spaces up until late last night, right? So maybe people haven't really heard about it. And I haven't been as active, on X.
You're on
Um,
vacation.
yeah, yeah, but there's things that I can do, like on Wednesday for blockchain banter. Like after our show, I got on there and like I'm a delegate on the blockchain banter account, so I was talking about the show and we had an awesome audience on Wednesday night. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot, probably more people than we've had live, and then I think over 750 or so people have downloaded the episode. That was a great conversation. We had Odie on there. Yeah, you were in there too.
I was able to listen the entire
Yeah,
night. Yeah, there's the with everyone sleeping. Wednesdays are tough for me to actually get on and talk because it's at nighttime and they're sleeping in the
yeah,
house. So
yeah,
I
yeah. I
just
got you.
I just sit in the ear, listen. Yeah, you guys had a fantastic conversation.
Yeah, so I mean, but the thing is, like, this stuff doesn't. You got to promote it, put it out early, right? I'm gonna start doing that with the show. I'm gonna set the spaces up, have tweets out, just so people know. 'Cause again, we want to have as many of these conversations. We talked about like, yeah, we're doing this once a week, but I don't know, bro. We may end up doing one in the at night, like you talked about. Like, we'll meet people where they're at. They'll meet us where we're at. Um, but I think. No, I know the community needs this. Like we need to be
Yeah.
talking as much as we can about there's so much going on that, Kara did a really cool thing on the blockchain banter that she didn't even tell me she was going to do, but she would mention like a little news clip of something that's happened within the community. And I think that's a great thing to do. Um, and there's just a lot, there's a lot going on. Um, did you see Seven Fish Tuna had an interview with Crypto Pumps yesterday? I watched that.
I watched it too. Yeah.
You watched that
Yeah.
too?
Yeah. It
It's
was
a
a good
great,
conversation.
yeah, that was a great conversation. Them talking about lightning and breaking it down. I loved how, fish, am I saying, yeah, it's fish tuna. Eel. So Eel and Seb were on there and how he broke down lightning and how it's like it's just a completely different network. And Bitcoiners are talking about it like it's Bitcoin and it's just not.
Now,
That got me to look at the security because even, the security budget issues
yeah, when they
or
broke
that
down the
being
security budget, that shit blew my mind. Like I'm
like I
thinking
understand it
about,
even
yeah,
clearer now. Yeah.
how
What did you
expensive
think about
those
that?
transactions have to be. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's a real thing, and it's. I mean, obviously, it came up during the debates. I remember that's when we were introduced to Odie and Eyal, for example. We haven't seen him as much, and Seb is the one who organized a lot of those people that were on the not really a debate, the conversation of
Yeah.
now it's clear that you can. It's clear that the people within Caspa are just, hey, but this is what we see, this is what it is, and then there's just this blockage of, but I want it to be this way, and they don't look at what is so or talk about anything as if it's perfect. Seb brought up a bunch of really great points that it's yeah, that's the experience speaking with them. We'll sit here and talk about like Caspa has a fast emission schedule. It does need adoption. Um, it's proof of work. It needs to be used
Yep.
on the base layer.
Yep.
We learned about lightweight transactions, heavyweight transactions, and then you see everything that's being built. K Social launch. You can see a messaging doing its thing. Even Vivor contributing to it. It's just like you don't see any of this directly built on Bitcoin. It's like nobody asks the questions of
You know, when I
it's so limited on its base layer, bro. And that's like a big issue.
yeah, I was chatting with Parker after he was on the show about mining because I don't understand the process, right? Because I don't understand that one block every 10 minutes isn't one transaction available every 10 minutes, right? Because I don't understand UTXOs and all that stuff. But as I'm starting to pick it up, it's like they mentioned it on that interview last night. Um, Within each block on Bitcoin, there's X amount of transactions that are capable. Therefore, within 24 hours, this many have to happen. Therefore, each transaction has to be valued at this much. And it's like blowing my mind because the weight of those transactions having to be so heavy that you're going to need lightning channels with thousands, hundreds, thousands of Bitcoin inside of them, opening and closing every single day
in
just to
order
be
to
able
support in order
in
to
order to
support the base
support it.
layer.
Yeah,
And they're gonna have to be large settlements, right? So
massive.
that's why the whole, that's why the narrative of, oh, nobody really gives a shit about their sovereignty. That's what they need. They need adoption on Lightning. And yeah, Onion talked about this with Fedwire. I wasn't aware of what Fedwire is, right? But Fedwire does over 900,000 transactions a day, and their average transaction is about $5 million, right? So think of that's who's going to use the base layer of
Yeah,
Bitcoin. That's what they're hoping for. But, then Odie does a really great job with the calculator and showing us is like, they think, oh, but it's going to be, let's say Bitcoin's at $1 million. Well, that doesn't solve the security budget problem because the security budget needs to be a percentage of the total transactions on the base layer in
Right.
order to secure the network, right? And then there's prominent Bitcoiners like Lynn Alden, who I respect. I thought she put a really cool tweet up where she's like, I don't know about why people block people. Seems kind of weak to me. I'm like, yeah, tell your people that. They're blocking the shit out of us. Um, but anyways, I digress. So she talks about like she has a great book about like the security budget and whatnot. I haven't read it or anything like that, but Odie references that. But just like look at the numbers, right? It's just like 1 + 1 doesn't equal 5, it
Right.
equals 2. So get your feelings and what you think it should or can and look at what it is, right? And then Caspa Onion is a great example of why. I can see people like Caspa Onion, like myself, that actually take a look at this because they've never thought about it. They just held Bitcoin because that's what you do. You hold Bitcoin. But then when you realize like, oh no, hold on. Most of what's securing the network right now is the rewards for every time a block is minted, right? So right now with the halving in 2024, 3.125 Bitcoin go towards the miners. And then the remaining part of that is the fees. And like Eyal talked about in an interview, um, with Seb and Crypto Pumps, it's like less than, and I looked at this up on AI too. He said less than 10%. I think it's less than like 1 or 2% of fees are how the miners are getting paid, right? And
Yeah.
we have this issue. We have this issue too. Like Caspa needs to be used.
Yeah.
But then when you look at the sentiment, you look at what's happening within the ecosystem, like there's so much going on. And I never really got that when I was, I guess I would hear, oh, this and that's being built, but nothing's being built on Bitcoin. Things are happening with Lightning, layer twos and all that. We have some of that going on too, which is great, because it brings people into the network, like what Eager Labs is doing. But the base layer of Bitcoin, like, I struggled with what, why were there small blockers, big blockers during the block size wars? But it's like, how can you be I don't, that Eon explained it actually pretty well. He's like, he brought that example about, like a wheel.
Yeah.
And
A
if you
machine.
move it, right, like we talked about, like he talked about it in an engineering type of way, which I visualized what he was saying. He's like, okay, yeah, you can't speed that up because if you speed it up, it breaks. So
Right.
that made sense, right? So
Right.
the whole structure of what Caspa is as a block DAG, so an evolution of that blockchain, and it incorporating the the orphan blocks, not discarding things. That's what has it go through. So think about with Bitcoin, right? Because it's a block every 10 minutes and it maxes out at about 2,500, 3,000 transactions. I've seen, in the mempool, you can see like it goes up to 4. So whatever, call it. I know you all had a really low number, but I think the max transaction is somewhere between like 600,000 to 800,000 on Bitcoin. And it's not going to speed up,
Right.
right? So that's
And I
why all
think
the
right
things,
now they're only getting about half of that. I think they're getting 350 to 600 per
I have
day,
the mempool here.
or
I can
three to
tell you,
four hundred thousand per day.
I have the exact numbers actually.
Yeah,
Let me quote it.
they were definitely worrying me from a uh, an
Yeah,
interested
like,
observer standpoint. You know.
yeah, Bitcoin last 24 hours, 398,000 transactions. That's it.
Yeah, and they have room for 800, right? So they're
Between like, cause between like six to
depending
eight
on
hundred is what
yeah.
yeah. Like if we're giving it some cushion, between 600 to 800 is what it could
So
potentially be.
if it's 800, they're sub 50. If it's 600, they're at like what 68% or something like that, right? So
Yeah.
they're
Look, and
definitely
I can tell you the numbers of the last blocks that have been mined. So 2,900 transactions, 3,200, 2,900, 29, 2,100, 3,000, 3,300, 3,100. So many people within the community, when they're battling with Bitcoiners, talk about Lightning not supporting the network. And it's almost like we're not saying that enough. It's like, hey guys, wake up. Why don't you guys talk about this?
Right.
And then you think of the influencers, the people that are shouting out the memes, like there is no second best. Like, what does that even mean? There is no, Bitcoin's the first iteration of this.
Dude, Sailor bought another $1.2 billion worth of Bitcoin today, and it made me so happy. It made me
Yeah.
so happy
Why?
because the funneling of Bitcoin to the top is pulling all the focus over there. So the more people that are there
Ooh.
when everything
Mm.
that you're saying comes true, they're going to realize that they were in the wrong direction. There's no point in trying to shepherd people away from that. They are
You're
following.
right.
You know what I mean? Like there's it's you're really trying to swim upstream, right? Like if you're running out of a building and 100,000 people are running at you, is it better for you to try to get everyone to come with you, or you to just make your way to where you got to go? And that's what it feels like, man.
Good
It
point.
feels like we just have to make our way to where we're going, and then eventually those who went to where we were getting away from look back. They're going to say, holy shit, there's people over there. We should go there. Because that herd mentality is going to exist. And when I saw that, I was like, motherfucker, he is just solidifying that base to really have them believe that what he's doing is correct. And look, it might be for
For a
what it is.
certain sector, yeah.
Exactly. I sent you a voice note. I finally finished hijacking Bitcoin. And the number one thing I got from it was, well, fuck Satoshi's vision. Fuck the white paper. Because they don't care about it.
Yeah.
Those who are in Bitcoin right now do not care about the white paper. They do not care about Satoshi's vision. Okay. That's what I realized.
Mm.
I am no longer stepping into any Bitcoin space at all. I have zero desire because anything that we could say from a Kaspa standpoint that helps solidify Satoshi's vision or the white paper is a moot point.
Yeah, they don't care.
They just don't care.
Yeah, they literally don't care. Yeah.
So go ahead. It's all right. See you guys. Have fun. Bitcoin's dope. I get it. We're gonna do
But
these things over here.
and speaking to, you finishing that book, that's great because now we have like beautiful, great talking points. I have somebody to talk to about this. Um, this is awesome. So to me, Bitcoin, BTC, the Bitcoin that we get, the Sailor's Bitcoin, the one that's at 91,000, that's not the original Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash is more what that Bitcoin is in the white paper. But
Okay.
and then there was a time when the naming of one or the other, yeah, I'm not specifically sure on how it ended up happening. And I guess the market kind of decided, but that it also makes you think when you see all the things that are cited in there in that book, it's just like, man, they really move the narrative. And it makes you think it's happening right now too. They're just publicly not saying some of the things that are obvious when you take a look and really, really dig in. But most people don't really, really dig in. They start with, oh, it's at 91,000. It's at 100,000. It's at 126,000. I'm like, what is, you don't even, and what can you do with it?
Right.
What can you do with it?
Right.
But people are attached to that number and obviously making money. And they think that that's, one of the first things that when I'm talking to people who haven't really, and this happens to me all the time when I explain Bitcoin and Kaspa, and it's why I'm able to onboard people. They're like, I've never had anybody talk to, yeah, because it's not, you don't go into Bitcoin and Kaspa to make money. It's actually here to replace it.
Right.
So the conversation's like, what is money? What is money to you? And everybody has kind of their own, oh, it's a tool, it's a resource. Okay, cool. Yeah. To me, it's an abstract form of representing my energy, right? So whatever you agree to transact with can technically be money, right? So we in this massive society just accept that this dollar here in the US is money. But is it? No, it's actually, then you got to go a little bit deeper. Like people, fiat, like we weren't even, who was saying fiat up until a couple years ago? Like nobody was saying fiat.
I remember downloading my crypto.com app and seeing the term fiat, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
What is that?
I'm trying to buy SHIB on the low, and watch it rise 10,000% and not cash out.
You're
Fucking
because you're in here to make some money, bro.
you know?
You're in here to make some money. Yeah, yeah. That's what, and that's cool. That's cool. Like there's some of these tokens are for that, right? They're hype. That's what the meme culture is and all that. And that's, I'm not hating on any of that. Like call it what
you,
it is though.
you said something earlier. Kaspa was presented to you at the right time,
Mm,
and it actually made me want to go try to get into my KuCoin account. Because it was Castle was presented me at one point in time where the only place I can get it was Mexi and KuCoin, and at the time KuCoin wasn't blocked in North America. It is now, but Mexi was, so I couldn't get it on there, and I don't remember how much I got, and I don't remember what the price was. I just know
shit.
that when I got into Caspa again this time around when it showed up the right way, because the first time it was presented to me, it was presented as a meme coin, it was presented as a project, it was presented as this new thing that's not what it is today. So I couldn't trust it. I didn't know what it was, and even doing like a half a bit of due diligence, oh, it's just another thing that you mine, whatever. You do that with Dogecoin and that shit, right? So I bought some of it, but I have no clue what the price was when I bought it, and this has to be at least 3 years ago, So I want to find that. I want to see if I can find an entry price. It might have been 6 cents. I have no clue, but like
Yeah.
I can't remember. I doubt I got it sub a cent for like $40 or some shit like that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. No, that's what, yeah, I really do think that, for me, there's no way I would have, there's things that kind of have to happen in your life. And for me, again, I mentioned I'm a pretty deep person, a deep thinker. So it's just like, I don't do things just to do things because other people are doing things. Um, Bitcoin presented itself when I provided value to a client and they're like, let me pay you in this. I'm like, whatever. Cool. Is it money? All right, I'll take it. Like that was my relationship to like, let me solve problems and I got paid money. And, yeah. And then with Caspa, it's just like, I had to lose my business. I had to have the business go completely away or else there's no way I'm even looking at any of this stuff because life is good, bro. And life is great. It's, it's not about the amount of Caspa or Bitcoin or fiat in the bank account.
yeah,
It's about navigating this thing with, like we've talked about, with sovereignty, with knowing that, my energy is preserved to the best of its abilities. And that's really what I feel with this protocol. So, learning the nuances of the differences between the coins. Cause there's a lot of people out there, like Peter Schiff shits on the gold bug. He shits on Bitcoin. And it's like, I actually see some of his points. I see what he's talking about, but you can tell he hasn't gone deep enough, bro. Like he hasn't cause it's like, he wants it to be gold.
yeah,
Then he goes back to the past and here's what it was. Here's what it did. Okay, cool. But we deep had gold from fiat. So we're just going to recreate it okay, the blockchain technology, but what really makes the blockchain technology, the blockchain technology? Okay, cool. Yeah. It's, this whole mining thing where you take computers and you run a software and it does expand energy, right? So there's a component to that too. And then you go a little bit deeper in there. You're like, oh man, it's securing it with hash power and it's all over the world. Okay, this is, there's something to that technology. So it's like, oh, now you can just launch any coin. You can, but then you get like a Dogecoin and
right.
there's no, now there's no, I don't think there's not a set supply in Dogecoin. Is there?
I think if you check in AI, I believe they actually did cap it back in 2021, but that's the only due diligence I did.
Okay.
Was
It's the same. It's like just
but
taking
it's
Bitcoin and trying to, oh yeah, it is blockchain there's no innovation there with the
right,
technology, right? It's the blockchain. We changed the name and it's open source. So you can do that. So there's
right.
just been a lot of that. And that is how I saw a lot of these things. And then like once I started to, and again, I'll give Saylor credit for it. Once he started talking about the energy component of it, And then he took it back to, hey, this is like Prometheus and when we discovered fire. And I really do see it like that. But then I even shared a video with you talking to you about how, cryptography started way back in the 70s. And there's people that we haven't been, like, no one's really mentioned. And then that it was a Bitcoiner that
Yeah, yeah.
I can't think of anybody off the top. I should take notes on that and be able to spit it out. But there's a lot of things that had to happen before Bitcoin became successful. So this immaculate conception, no, like
Right.
it did figure some shit out that it needed all of the other things that happened before it came about. But and then this goes back to I've talked to you about the landmark education that I've done because this is where I'm able to get distinctions and not attach myself to what I think it should be. Like I really don't like vocabulary like that. Like this is what I want. This is what it should be. Like it doesn't fucking matter what I want. What it should be. Like what is it?
Right.
So when you come from that perspective and you understand that there is what is so, and then there's all these interpretations, which are the stories of taking what just happened, then you can decipher, oh, this is just people's interpretations based on what they think it should be, could be, what their life, like the lenses they look at. But there's literally 8 billion truths.
Right.
We all have a different perspective. I don't see the world like you do. Maybe I don't see those bluer skies in France like you did, right?
Right.
And that's what makes it super unique and why I think I'm able to relate to most people no matter where the fuck you're from, bro. Because like I can take it to nothing. Like, okay, let me hear you. I don't bring my objectives and perspectives, and I'm in this listening of like, okay, I'm here with Bishop. He's talking. Okay, I'm just taking it in, right? And it's that took practice. So that's what I see with all the discourse and all the going back and forth with all these people. They're uh they're just getting in their own way of revealing like a truth. There isn't going to be just one fucking thing, bro. It's just
Yeah. I was having another like existential thought last night after listening to Seb and Crypto Pumps and what's the other guy's name?
y'all.
Eol. Um, because they had mentioned stablecoins, right? Eol was definitely like Casper needs stablecoins, and dude, I was getting this because USDC and USDT, those are companies, right?
Yeah.
And they mint stablecoins.
Yep.
Okay, so I was getting that thought again. Are we going to get the central bank digital currencies, right? The CBDCs. Are we going to get? Because a question I asked several times
Yes.
in
I
crypto
think
space.
it's yes.
Well, honestly, it's an absolute, and honestly,
Yeah.
it has to happen. And I
It
say
has
that
to.
I asked in a couple spaces if there's only so many bitcoins and there's only so many Kaspas, how does my employer pay my paycheck in Kaspa or in Bitcoin? There's not enough to
Probably
go around.
doesn't.
Right. It has to be paid in a stable coin. That stable coin has to be government backed. So it will need to be a CBDC. It will need to
Yep.
be the United States of America dollar that is digitally linked to some type of cryptographic network. Now, how do you make that sovereign? I do not fucking know because they'll be able to track every space that coin goes until you eventually cash it out into. Because if I take my paycheck and I put it in my Kraken wallet and I take that Kraken wallet and I put it into a cold storage, Kraken knows where that cold storage went. Kraken has my information.
Yep.
I now give up the identity of my cold storage. So like the sovereignty is not necessarily going to exist except for seed phrase access. So they won't be able to freeze your funds. They won't be able to take your shit from you as long as you can cold storage it. So as long as that can happen, you do have an out. And maybe with Covenants plus plus plus, when they have the agreements available, so you can pool your funds amongst 10 different wallets,
Right.
and then you can, finagle your money that way so you can continue to be sovereign. But we're gonna need CBDCs just so our employers, and this is I'm talking as someone who doesn't plan on going back to work,
Oh,
um,
yeah.
but so these employers can pay us in something, or if we're operating if we want to create a marketing firm out of, the hotel conference room you're in right now, or my kitchen, if we want to create that, we're going to need to get paid in some type of digital asset. That asset needs to exist. And it's not that I'm rooting for it, but it's an inevitability. Because as we've said before on this show, there needs to be more. There needs to be more Kaspas. There needs to be more Bitcoins. There needs to be more Dogecoins. These proof of works that exist to help pay for goods, services, and proof of work that real people do, right? Like you're plugging the machine in, the machine is doing the proof of work, and you're rewarding the machine based off the energy expenditure. Well, how are we getting rewarded for the proof of work on this show? If this show was to be part of ESPN, right? ESPN's now going to have to pay us. What are they paying us in? Well, it's going to need to be digital. What is that digital currency? And that's something that hit me last night after listening. I was like, fuck. They're gonna force CBDCs on us because they
Yeah,
have.
I've seen that. I've seen that coming. But so here, I do have a take on this, bro.
Sure.
Because I see, so here, I see stable coins as the Trojan horse. For again, you got to think about this, bro. Would it be great if 90% of the world adopted Kaspa, Bitcoin? Yeah, it would. We talked about Bitcoin and who Bitcoin to me is going to go to the elites. It's going to be high value transfers. Nobody's really going to operate on Bitcoin. And because of that, I'm in Kaspa because I do see how the base layer built here gives people the option. You're not forced to a layer two. If you go to a layer two, by all means, go do that. Like build something, bring value, dope what Eager Labs is doing, all that, right? And then obviously so y'all mentioned VProgs and how that can help with converting. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, but how you could convert the stable or having the stable coins on there, is again, it's not Kaspa because Kaspa is limited in supply. And that's what we learned was very critical in understanding now what fiat has done to debase human energy, right? That's really what a stable coin does. People think a stable coin is stable, but it isn't. They just see the number on the screen, but
Right.
you're going to need more of those stable coins. So like when people, like again, I think about for myself, I think I've been a benefactor of holding Bitcoin since 2018, and I've been able to operate in that energy of my energy being stored. And bro, listen, I've channeled the Bitcoin Caspa thing and the energy of it in some of my yoga practices. I couldn't even tell you, but it's just like I don't have the words for it. It's more like telepathy that comes to me, where I just feel like, damn, I'm really fortunate that I have that force field in my life where I haven't been completely extracted from. Like I've benefited from that without even knowing that I benefit. Now that I've studied it, so all that to say, with stable coins, I think you're right. The CBDCs have to come, but if we can get the education out and let people know, hey, here's what's happening, and then just get them to move a little bit of the stable coins over to Caspa. That's what it is. It's not about you putting, like I don't appreciate like when Sailor goes, put everything in there that you can't afford to lose. Well, bro, for like that, you've been rich your whole life.
Right.
That's another thing. It's like you're massively wealthy. And then he talks about that. It's like, no, there's some people where all that they have is like $500.
Right.
They put that in there and it fucking dips, 40%. It's a big deal. They're going to
Yeah.
feel that. So I'm thinking about those people, right? It's like, no, don't put everything, man. Put $20 in Casper. Like that's still something. And then start feeling the energy of having that experience it going down. How it's, again, that's a measure of the fiat system and the debasement that's happening there. There's a bunch of crap that's happened in the world is highly likely why Caspa's down the way it is because Caspa's completely undervalued based on what it actually can do today. So there's
Yeah.
all these things coming, right? But there's money running out in the system. The U.S. owes 9 trillion that they got to figure out how to fucking refinance. The debt here in the U.S. is at 38 trillion. Like all that shit's coming due. And you think we're going to pay that? No, that's a debt-based system. You're supposed to stay in debt over there, right? So I think it's the education on that and having people understand, look, this is where you're coming from. You can completely shift that energy and you're not going to learn this all overnight, man. Just like get a little bit of it and then move your
Right.
time over, kind of like what you've done, right? Since we've been talking and going
Yeah.
back and forth. This is the energy of living with knowing that my energy has been conserved and preserved, bro. So I think you only get that with a proof of work, decentralized protocol bounded by energy. So as long as Kaspa stays decentralized and secure, which it 100% is on the base layer, and by the Bitcoin is on the base layer too. It's just unfortunate that the people that are going to really benefit from that, from what it looks like, aren't people, are going to be institutions and large corporations and
Large
Michael
corporate.
Saylors
Yeah.
and all that. So that, I mean, that's, try to convince me otherwise that that's not the case. And that's where a lot of these Bitcoiners don't want to go because they want to battle back and forth. Where we're just like, hey, this is what it is. So, you can sit here and call this a shitcoin. What's a shitcoin? Define that for me. Oh, it's not good one.
Right.
What else you got, bro? Like that's all they have. That's why I made it so easy. That made it so easy to come out in Caspa and be like, let me fucking start talking. I've held Caspa for a year and a half. I got to start talking about this. And obviously, it's been accelerated here over the past 6 months, and it's been beautiful, bro. But yeah, I think we have an opportunity here with what we're doing, right? We're getting practice on these 11 shows that we've done. Um, bro, so much shit comes to me like when I was on the flight coming up, and I'm like, man, I talked to you that I'm gonna have a call here with Chad on things that we could potentially do. He wants to help people that are out here spreading the message. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool to have a conversation with Chad and see what Rhubarb Media could do for the show or for you individually, me individually, man. So,
Shouts to
uh,
Izio Dev. He's in the space, and Team Poison in the
sweet.
space as well. Shouts, guys. Thanks for showing up.
Shout out. Thanks, guys. Cast me's in here,
Yeah.
usual.
I shouted him out earlier.
Oh, okay. I missed that. Yeah, man. So yeah, so again, I always try to find the sauce, the goods. There's always a good side. I say this to my son all the time. Like there's a solution to what? Every problem.
Yeah.
There's a solution to everything. You just got to look for it. Just got to look for it. So how can you find that solution? And that's how I see this. You got to take what it is. It's like, yeah, these CBDCs are coming. Unfortunately, a lot of people aren't going to see it. They're going to have to suffer,
Yeah.
being told how you can use your money, programmable money and all that. And then, all these beautiful things are being built on Caspa to preserve more of that sovereignty. Yeah. But, we talked about it on last week's show, how I do it. It's like, I just try not to hold the fiat I just grab it in digital form to pay my bills. So it ends up in the bank account for a little amount of time. But it's like, I energetically feel what it's like to have that. And I don't want that much of it. Not everybody's going to get there. Not everybody needs to get there. You don't need to be as extreme as I am,
Dude,
so, but it's an
I just
opportunity,
realized.
right?
Yeah, I just realized I sent you a voice note on either Saturday or Sunday, and I, because I speak digitally now all the time, I didn't realize I didn't say it on the show. Um, my son wanted to. We're going to the beach for my birthday because down the beach by us, there's outlets and our favorite restaurant in the state. So we take the hour and change drive to go down there, mess around at the outlets. But my son wanted to cash in his piggy bank. He's got a bunch of coins. He's like, I just don't want coins anymore. I want dollars. And in my head, I just go,
Oh,
ugh, like ugh. And I was like, well, I can set you up, like, because I got him a Caspa, a KNS, right? And he's like, no, because I can't spend that at the store. And I'm like, okay, let's not have this conversation this morning. I got you. So we count his change, and I had some childhood memories of counting change, stacking quarters, doing nickel.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dude, it was so much fun. Um, but he had around $15 in change, and then I gave him $15 in cash. And even just as I'm doling out the singles, I'm like, ugh. It just felt disgusting.
Really?
It was the first time. It was the first time I've ever felt grossed out touching cash. Like, and it's because we talk about this all the time, and I'm just like, this this change that I just counted out for these dollars, the change itself is not worth $15. And this $15 in cash is not worth $15. What he's about to go spend this $15 on isn't worth $15. this just isn't real anymore. Like it was the first time I ever fucking felt that.
Really,
And
man, you're making shifts there, bro.
dude, I don't
Leveling
mind it.
up.
I don't mind it. But in the moment it felt gross, and like even now, like I kind of feel gross that I felt gross about it. Like it's this dichotomy that's happening. Like it's the impetus of an epiphany. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
coming, and man, it just yeah. So I definitely
Well,
understand it.
bro, so now you can relate to me. Like, I don't have many people that I could, I say that, but I know that a lot. What do I mean when I say that? It's an energy thing. It's an energy thing, knowing as much as I've studied it and seen the history and I know what it is now, right? So, and just feeling this all over. Um, yeah, I wonder if was an opportunity there to, like what I would have done if, so
Yeah,
my son
walk me
has a,
through it. Walk me through it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
what?
So
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know your boy. So like, it depends on the personality. My son just takes direction because that's where he is, and he's such a good kid. And okay, sounds good. And then he just makes the decision based off of seeing how his dad is and like what we get to do. So yeah, I shared that he had he has a little snow cone business that he does every quarter at his school, and he made $104 the last time. And unprompted, he's like, he wanted to spend some of it, so he took like $40 and he's like, I want the rest of this in Bitcoin and Kaspa. So I did that for him. And then he went to the store because he wanted to buy like Legos or something, or Transformers. That's what he's into. And he came back. He's like, no, I didn't want to buy nothing. Put the rest of this in Kaspa. He put all his money in that. He just doesn't spend it, and he hasn't spent that much money since Kaspa's gone down. Like no, I'm good. Like my parents take care of me. Like all of my needs are met. So I noticed he doesn't have like that consumer type of mindset. And he's grown up obviously around me,
yeah.
and I'm very, very much the same. It's like, I don't overdo, I don't spend what I haven't made. I just had a conversation with my dad before we started this show, bro. It was so frustrating. Cause he's been saving in Bitcoin and Caspa for the past year, and he has a good amount put away. And he keeps saying like, oh, I want to go to Puerto Rico. And he hasn't been on a vacation in a long time. They were going to go to Panama here recently, but I'm like, you can do what you want. And he hasn't wanted to know how much he has. He hasn't wanted to know. And it's more than he's had saved. He's a 69-year-old man. It's more than he's had saved in 30 years. It's a man that went to the military, pension, social security. He gets a nice little check every month, but he would spend every penny until, son, I need, we had to sit down and we had a tough talk last December 2024. So showed the old man new tricks, man. Like he changed up a lot, and he has money saved up, and I have it in Caspa and Bitcoin for him. And I've been very transparent. The mark is down. Like I wouldn't spend any of this. He still has a good amount in there, right? I wouldn't spend any of this. I wouldn't, go on a staycation. You live in Fort Myers, like come to Miami. He's like, oh, I want to go to Puerto Rico. He hasn't been to Puerto Rico. And it was like I got to teach my kid,
Yeah.
I had to tell him, like, you've been spending more than you've made. And like, you finally have this, like, give it, I don't know, in 3 months, things could change. This could double, 6 months. I don't know. He's like, what am I'm going to be 90 years old and going to have to do this when I'm 90. I'm like, I gotta talk on this, with my guy Bishop here in a little bit. We'll have this conversation later. So I'm going through it with him, like, and he's different than my son gets it before
Right.
I don't have
Right.
to, and he's been operating a certain way for a long time. So, doesn't realize that I'm having him actually take cash and use cash now. So I'm just trying a little bit. I've had him use credit cards, but let me have him use the cash. So like he has even a little bit more autonomy and privacy. He doesn't, not that I look at all the transactions, but let me just have him experience that, see how it goes. Um, and I'm like, we can talk about Puerto Rico and all that. He wants to take my mom. It can't be him and my mom. It just my brother would have to go. They're they're in their late 60s, like, and he is a former drill sergeant, and that
Yeah.
drill sergeant comes out, bro. That drill sergeant comes out. He is not patient with my mom. Like, you're not taking my mom over there. My mom's like super sensitive, always crying. 44 years of marriage, man. Um, Those are the parents I divorced and got back together at my college graduation. They were separated for 7 years, but 6, 7 years. Yeah, man. Yeah. So, I mean, all that to say, I guess you're just depends on like, yeah, been like, hey, what do you think about putting away five of these dollars? Like, spend 10. What do you think about that? And then tell them why you're doing it with Caspa. Like, have I told you about like how much Caspa I have and what we're doing? Like, share, you'd be surprised. I mean, I'm sure your kid's a smart kid. You're his dad.
Appreciate that.
I have conversations with my kid. Like, I know he doesn't get everything that I'm saying, but some of this is going to land.
Yeah.
And I look at him. I know he's kind of lost. Like, oh, you're a little too much. We say mucho show here, like a lot. Mucho show.
We
Yeah.
yeah, I've had a couple money conversations with him, and it started with Fortnite. So um you take dollars and you transfer them into V Bucks, and the V Bucks can acquire you certain things. And he's bought some things and then regretted the purchase because he didn't have them for the next thing. So the only thing I can really
Mm.
stick with him now, because he's ADHD, um, and it's not just the old school applied to new school ADHD where it's like, no, just go outside and play, and he doesn't have it. His brain just fires and 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 fires. It doesn't fucking stop.
Really?
You can see that's a kind of a thing for me that he. So like when it comes to explaining things, if you can't tie a quick intrinsic value, then with applicable comparisons. So for instance, if there's one item that costs 1,000 V bucks, but two items that cost 1,500 V bucks, I can then show him, hey, this one by itself is more than half of these two put together, right? So like he needs to see it that way, and he has to touch it and make the mistake before he truly can absorb the information. So in this instance, yes, that's probably how I should have broke it down. Was all right. Here's a good idea. I'll give you the 15, or you give me five. I send $5 worth of Caspa to your the pawn.cas is what it is because I'm Bishop, he's the pawn.
Nice.
Yeah, the pawn.cash.
Love
Yeah, let me send $5 there, and then we'll see by the next time we go shopping where's that $5 in Caspa. And that's yeah. So I'm with you now. All right, I can do
Yeah,
that.
and that just reminded me, right? So like when I first got Caspa and got my son some Caspa, it was in May of 2024. I want to say that I bought it at like 12, 13 cents and it pumped up to 20. So he got like 3 or 4 months of seeing it go up there, right? And he was like, and energetically that does a thing for them because they see it like, oh, if I'm patient. And then now seeing what it's done now, the conversation's like, yeah, you don't spend what you don't have.
Right,
And then I showed him my Bitcoin. Oh, I showed him his mom's Bitcoin. I bought his mom in 2018, $50 worth of Bitcoin, and I have that transaction. So I'm like, look at what I did here, and that $50 is like $700, $800 now. So like I have that as a reference.
right,
So that's
right.
the only reason his mom still has Bitcoin too.
I tell
So
you
so
what.
you gotta have something like that he
Yeah,
needs to experience, and he needs to experience that probably go down a little bit and come up. And the energy of that could it'll change conversations moving forward.
even it going down from 20 to 5, like it lost 75% of its value. But had, for instance, the toys that my kid bought with the $15, if he loses them in 2 years, that $15 would have been, whatever cast is going to be 2 years from now. And he can see that saving and sound money can result into, a net positive. Um,
Right.
yeah, it's just that's just
Yeah.
an adult perspective to throw on a child. If they can't go through it with you. So, like you said, following the graph and what it looks like, and tying it to their real world thing. That's a pretty solid idea. Yeah, I might have to try that.
Listen, bro. And for me, I remember I've talked about like I divorced those parents when I was 17. And then I got my foster parents, Lucy, specifically, my foster mom. And she was the first, I remember being 17 and being like, oh my, she was the first adult that made me feel like I was a person and I could think for myself. And I'm talking, I played football, right? It was in football,
Right.
you're told what to do. And it was just cool. That opened up a level of sovereignty within me, right? And I started to develop that with Lucy. And it was really frustrating at first because I wanted her to tell me things and how to do stuff. So you'd be surprised. You'd be
Yeah.
surprised. Like I said, sometimes I know that I'm going a little bit over his head and I'll have to catch myself and be like, does that make sense? He's like, yeah, okay. I'm like, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But you just got to throw it in there. And I know you said he's ADHD. I think that that's also another, I understand that you know, me-
In focus, he is like there's and because I'm with you. Like we're not, no, we don't necessarily buy it. But what we do buy is the there's an energy of operation in his focus that myself and my wife did not have as children. You know what I mean? So like we recognize where we can take this particular diagnosis and understand what they're talking about. But we don't clinically treat that shit. We don't give a medication for it or anything like
oh,
that.
great. Oh,
We no,
beautiful.
yeah, we try to harness. So one thing, he's a super creative. Like he's actually doing a portfolio to try to get into this artistic school, um, because that's what we said from the very beginning when we saw him kind of do things. Um, Actually, I'll tell you a quick story in a second. But like we always said, we'll never stifle his creativity, and we'll always try to harness his skill sets. So if we see something in him, we would like to push him towards that activity. First time we saw him throw a baseball, we're like, "Fuck, we got to get him into t-ball now." And he was like
Yeah,
2 years
wow.
old. He just had natural mechanics and all that shit. But
Yeah,
we put him in there before he wanted to be there, and he doesn't like playing baseball. He has a natural swing. Like he's his swing, like his anyway.
I get
So
it. No, I
yeah,
got you. I'm with you there.
so
Yeah.
when he was before he could talk, he was still in diapers. I want to say he was just walking. So I want to say maybe a year and a half, less than because a year and a half will put him in February. So it was right after he turned one. He had this water table outside and these toys in it, and we had five dogs running through the backyard. So I'm sitting out on the porch, and he's at his water table, and he takes this. He had a play school garden set, so there's all these different tools, and he takes the garden hoe that is basically like a spaghetti spoon with a hole in it. So he takes it and he's trying to pick up water, and he goes to dump it in the dog's water bowl, and there was no water. So he goes back and he tries it again, and there's no water. Then he goes and he grabs a different toy, and it gets a little bit of water, and he brings it over to the dog's bowl and puts a little bit of. It wasn't enough, so he takes a bucket and he has the bucket. He puts some water in it, and he like carries it the wrong way, spills out water, goes to put it in the dog's water bowl. Then he goes back. He fills up the bucket. He walks slowly, and he's 1 year old, and he
Wow.
progressively figured out how to fill this dog.
Yeah.
Like I was blown away. I took video of it on my old ass camera phone from fucking 10 years ago, and I was just blown away, speechless. Like, and I still have the video somewhere, but like it was halfway through the process, and I'm watching him do deductive reasoning to figure this shit out. Like at 1 year old,
Instincts. No,
instincts,
yeah. We're
and
born with all that, bro.
yeah,
We're born with all that. So it's like,
and
yeah, that's beautiful.
yeah, I might have told this story on here or not, but my my father-in-law was going through brain cancer, and I was trying to figure out how to help him. So I watched this video of this homeopath, and there's one thing he said that stuck with me forever. There's nothing wrong with the body because it's lacking a pharmaceutical drug.
Mm.
I am a believer in science helping us out. I've had 3 back surgeries. I've taken medications. I know what they do for you. So we're not opposed to any medicines trying to help us. But that's not why my son is hyperactive, because he's missing this drug, right? this thing that could help him in some way, shape, or form. That's not why he's hyperactive. He's hyperactive because that's a tool in his tool bag to make him successful in something. So the
Yep.
last thing we're going to do is try to reduce that. No, we're going to try to fucking harness that and get him to that next level, however that looks like for him. So yeah, like in watching him use that deductive reasoning at 1 years old, we've just known that like there's something in him to get there, and we don't want to stop that whatsoever. Yeah.
That's beautiful, man.
Oh my goodness, it was the
Yeah,
best.
man.
So proud. So
That's
proud.
awesome that you guys are a team about that. There's, like my son got diagnosed on the spectrum, and now they tell us like, yeah, no, he was just shy and quiet, and he's still quiet and shy, but he's a little builder, he's a little engineer, and he surprised us. He surprised me in December 2024. Was it in December? Where he downloaded this app to create beats and music. And he's like, "Can I play this for you?" And I'm like, "Okay, I didn't know you made this stuff." And bro, when he played this song for me, I was like bawling. I was like, because I could hear the influence of the music that I play for him. I
Okay.
could hear it in there. And he had this one little transition. And I think I've shared with you, I play guitar. His mom's a singer. I can sing. I'm like a background voice. I'm not the lead. She's a lead voice. And I remember when he was growing up, we freestyle, like something will come on and we'll just like start rapping back and forth. And he hated it. He could not
Right, right.
stop it, you know? So when I was in the car with him and he showed me the beats that he was putting together, and then he had like 40 of them. I go, and I started playing them. I'm like, these are good. Some of them were like, all right. And like, I'm like, this is not, I go, do you want to learn how to play piano? He's like, okay. And I signed him up for a piano class. So he's in music production. He's been in that for like a year and a half, and he's got his own little. He's DJ Juju Fly at school. So whenever they have parties, and he does the sound engineering, all that. So he's this kid. Like, yeah, I think I shared this before. I always get a little emotional when I think about it. But I'm like, I didn't. I remember talking about. I was like, I didn't think you'd like music. He's like, yeah. I go, well, why do you like doing this? He's like, I can express myself without having to use words. This kid and his one liners, bro. Like
Yeah.
say one thing and just like boom, just
Oh yeah.
hits. So,
Put that in a frame.
right. Yeah, man. And a lot of it has to do with the school too that he's at, man, where it's just like, these kids are allowed to move and operate. Like they don't need to be sitting all day. So like when I hear a kid, like they all have ADHD there, all of them,
Sure.
except but Julian's like the chill one. My son's so chill. That's what the other kids like. Julian's so chill. He's the biggest dude there. He's like 5'9" now already, bro. But yeah, man, it's like, yeah, that's great to harness all this. And we have that all within us, man. We just,
Yeah.
some of us lose it along the way,
Huh.
but you can
That's
always reconnect to it. Part of the reason why I'm doing this fast starting tomorrow is just like, I want to keep reconnecting with that part of me. It's not to lose weight, to necessarily feel better. I know all those things are going to be a part of it. I'll probably be challenged a little bit too. It's not always easy to go through that. But I know that there's something on the other side of it,
well. Yeah.
so,
You're
so
not just
that's that.
you're not just starving yourself for 3 days. You're eliminating the cause of what the food and beverages have done to you as well. You're
It's just clearing things out, clearing things out. You're right. Yeah. Just clearing it all out. I don't feel bad. Like I did some drinking this week, but I think I shared with you, didn't get hungover.
you shared a couple things.
Nothing. I had a couple days where I got crazy. I got crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I got crazy. But I mean, it's probably because I work out and I'm going to go do a yin class tonight, but it's like, I did yoga every day. I move the body, and
Yeah.
that's got to enjoy life too, man. We got to live, have a good time. So the
Yeah.
body's calling for it though.
I say it. I say it every year. This is the year that I do this, or this is the year I do that. And this is the first time though I've entered this phase of my life where um, I don't feel bound by the the errors of my ways. Right? Like, for instance, last year, the one day it snowed like crazy here that we had to shovel, I shoveled, and then the next morning I sneezed and my back locked up and I had constriction of nerves from my hips to my knees. And I've never had that particular injury before, so I always thought I could stretch it out. Well, the day I sneezed was the first day of training of a new job I was supposed to have. I ended up losing that job because I was injured. And then I went all of last year losing two jobs, two dogs, going through this whole thing. And, in August, I find Kaspa and you and all this shit and positive this shit.
Yeah,
And
that's how I felt it. You're
it
good.
helped turn me around. It helped turn me
Good.
around in perspective because it was a trying fucking year, man. It hurt so much, but to break free and have less than I ever have and be in the worst physical shape of my life right now, just because I'm at my heaviest. But in perspective, I've been trying to focus on this new route, this new path that I'm now in best position I've ever been to have. Again, I wrote three words on my board: perspective, routine, and nutrition. And it's kind of exactly what you just talked about with this fast. This fast is going to put you in a new perspective, and your routine is fantastic. You don't sacrifice your routine for anything, and
No,
that's
that's true.
yeah. And when you feed yourself through your routine and your perspective, you really can be as successful as possible. And
You're free, bro. Listen,
yeah,
you're free.
yeah, and
Dis
that's where my
discipline,
perspective has me right now.
discipline routine provides. People think like, yeah, no, you do this. It's 7 years. It's 7 years where I've done some form of physical activity, strain. Well, it's not even strain on the body. It's like medicine to my body. It's 7 years of this. So it's like my body asks for it. And if I've never, like maybe been a week or two over 7 years where it's like I don't do something because I don't feel good, but I don't always feel good. And I do it anyways. And then I always come out on the other side of it, man. So yeah, you have a lot of freedom. That's all, I
Yeah.
don't cut you off there, but
Well, no, we have,
there's a lot of freedom when you have that discipline.
and yes, and you deserve that freedom, and you can give yourself that freedom. That's the thing that these 9 to 5 do when you don't have perspective. For instance, if I go back to a 9 to 5, I still have this perspective. I can keep my freedom because that
Hmm.
that 9 to 5 is now my choice, and I think that's what they mean by 80% of the people hate their job because those 20% that go do that job, and we're talking about 9 to 5ers, not those who are entrepreneurs and literally do what they love. But those 9 to 5ers, that 20%, I think it's because they maintain that perspective that this isn't who I am. This is what I need to do right now, and then
Right.
they go handle the rest of their day. But those who hate it, their perspective is 8 hours I'm sleeping, 8 hours I'm working, and I only get 8 hours to myself. That's a tough 24 hours to live and have to do it for 40 fucking years
Oof.
until you can retire is crazy. So yeah, I'm finally free in my mindset. My wife has been so supportive. No relationships without its ups and downs. And when I told her, I just want to eat cake all day, because I'm not that guy either. Like I have a degree in pastry arts. I know my stance on sweets. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm good. Like I'm an expert in sweets. I don't need sweets, right? Like I'll have the good ones when I'm ready. But I wanted to be a glutton for a day, and she's usually not supportive because she's very worried
You're
about.
right.
She wants me to live a long time. To which I told her, my grandparents lived to their 90s. You're stuck with me.
You're
Uh,
good.
I'll get there. Don't worry. I'll be there. And then her in turn is like, yeah, but I want it to look a certain way. So I'm not, carrying you up and down stairs. I said, that's fair. That's fair. So yeah, but no, she supported me yesterday. She went to 5 stores just to make sure she can find the carrot cake that I would want.
Oh,
Um,
that's awesome.
yeah, it was, and didn't judge me one bit. And yeah, and these two assholes, I fucking hate them for it too. They didn't have any. At least if they had some, a slice, but oh, it's carrot cake. Like, don't be a dick. It's my birthday. Have a piece. No, they didn't have any.
They didn't
So
have any.
they didn't have
Uh,
any, and they made me eat the whole thing. And then to my wife goes, yeah, but you don't have to eat the whole thing. I said, but that was the plan. I'm not going to lie to you.
you got to
Um,
follow through.
yeah, but no, she was very supportive because she wanted me to have a good day. And she knows how bad I had of birthdays growing up. So she's like, no, fuck it. It's your birthday. Go for it. So yeah, um, feeling that freedom to like just and have the support too. You explain it like how crazy your past has been, but to be on the front side now of guiding your family to this place, they trust you and they support you to be in that position. Um, yeah, having this type of freedom and the support, I really do feel like I can fucking do anything right now, you know, and 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 anything is going to take me everywhere. It's fucking crazy, dude. I've never
I
felt
believe you, bro. I love how you're
never,
saying that, man. I believe you.
never felt this
Yeah.
before. Yeah, it's crazy,
Yeah,
crazy.
we're just getting this rolling, man. We're just gonna do a better job of promoting the space, and we've had people on here. More than anything, it's about having the conversation, right? But there's opportunity to structure this, and obviously we got Lavendi on here, who's done
Okay,
an amazing job with like forming the blockchain banter team. There's a new one that's coming on YouTube, I think tomorrow night. Yeah, with I don't know if you know him, quick crypto and crypto pumps. They're doing a YouTube live stream on blockchain banner. So,
nice.
and I think they have Ashton and Caspador, I think are their guests on YouTube
Fucking
tomorrow.
heavy hitters, man.
Yeah, yeah. No, but Lavendi and Chris and
He's
what they're
crushing
doing there, man. So I appreciate the opportunity to just continue to practice this and be able to speak on what Caspa's doing for all of us. And with this show here, bring the human element of it. It's like you're like I'm excited to see your story unfold and where you're going. So, and I mentioned this to you in a voice note. It's none of us can do any of this shit alone. Like it takes it. We have to do this and work with people. So even being an entrepreneur, it's like that's not a you don't do that shit by yourself. You bring your gifts and whatever you're good at and you just bring that forward as much as you can. And then, the way I've led is by servicing people the best that I can and letting their gifts shine, man. So that comes from my football foundation. That comes from being the first of three children. That comes from being I'm the first of 11 grandchildren, bro. The one that got out of that house in Panama. My mom went and found an American soldier and got me over here. Like,
it.
I can't waste this life, man. Got to do something with this. So, no, man, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Just getting it rolling.
that's something that we vibed on too, and I think a lot of these we'll just call them retail leaders, right? In because my last boss at Taco Bell was an area coach, a little bit younger than me, didn't grow up in sports, and we had a very tumultuous um,
Mm.
relationship, and actually I had another job, and they both said the same thing. But I don't know how to lead you. I said, did you play sports as a kid? Like I said, because use my strengths and then let me do my thing. Call out my weaknesses and help me perform better. I am
You would tell them this and they
yes,
still didn't get
yes.
it.
Give me
Yeah.
the ball and let me do my thing. The second I am a detriment to success, pull me aside and tell me why. But they would try to course correct me into the game plan that they saw fit, which is not executing my skill sets. So
Yeah.
if you want me to sit there and push papers, okay. If you want to put me in at point guard when I'm a center, don't expect me to have handles. Like I maxed out at 6'1", but I played the five in high school. It's because I can't dribble. Not in game, right? Like in game dribbling is completely different, right? I could throw a football 70 yards. I can't play quarterback, right? 60, all right, 60 yards. But I can't play quarterback. I'm a tight end, DN kind of guy. But anyway, like so, like if you don't put me right, don't put me where my skill set is. I'm useless to you. I just am, and it's not out of me being stubborn. Now, if you want to teach me a different position, if you want to teach me a different part of the game, that's on you. That's not on me. right? Because we're agreeing that I'm coming in playing this position, but the second you move me from the four or from the five and you put me at the three and expect me to cover these people who are faster and have range, that's your expectation that you're ruining. So I would tell him
Yeah.
shit like that. Yeah, no, no. If you weren't
Well,
you weren't in sports, then you don't know how to lead me. But I'll tell you, absolutely. You know,
and to me, it's like you see that. I mean, again, I did not work corporate America too long, but I just um,
well, it's
I
people.
remember this. But some people, what I'm getting at is like you even see it in sports, right? Where like the coaches that don't really ever make it, they maybe were great individual coaches. They were maybe like a good offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, but then they go and try to be a coach, and then you hear what kind of happened and why they weren't able to lead a team. It's because like it's freaking 50 in the NFL, 53 personalities and like grown men who are feeding their families that like you have to learn how to let those people bring out the best in themselves. But some coaches, some leaders, some people that run businesses that aren't necessarily the most successful, they'll try to put in what they think needs to happen and how it needs to happen. And they don't adapt. So I see that play out, in sports for sure too. Then you get like, even I'm thinking of Belichick right now, like Bill Belichick and all the Super Bowls he won. Like he wasn't the nicest dude, and I hated hearing him at press conferences. But you know what he did? He put his players in like the best positions that
Absolute best.
they were good they were good at. And any great leader, that's what they see. That's what they do.
Yeah.
They bring out the best of their people, and you put them in a position to succeed. So it's no different in anything, So sports is an analogy for that. It's no different than anything in life. It's how I lead my family. It's how you lead your family.
1,000%. No,
So
I don't ask anyone. I wouldn't do myself, but I also don't. I don't adhere responsibilities that I don't think they would be successful at. Like you have to.
right,
You have to. You. I also don't take on responsibilities that I don't think I'd be successful at. My wife trusts me to grocery shop because I do grocery math faster and better than anyone she's ever seen. I walk in that store, I know exactly how we're getting out the door. You know what I mean? And how many meals we're going to have inside that cart when I pick it up. It's something I've been doing since I left home because of a budget. I only have so
yeah.
many dollars. I have to make this go a certain way. There was one time,
I could use you, bro. I would love to
got
have
you,
that
bro.
skill.
I got you. No, there was one time where we were trying to get into a health kick, so we started eating turkey burgers. And a 1 pound pack of turkey burgers went on sale for $1. We bought 100 of them, and we found a way to put them in the freezer. So there was 400 turkey burgers at my house. We actually had so many that
Wow.
Buddy bought 20 pounds off of us just so he could have some too. And we did dollar for dollar, whatever, no big deal, spread the wealth. But like that's kind of, and then even if we got tired of turkey burgers, then I would reformulate it into turkey chili, right? Like I that's what I do. So yeah, man, like having that ability to take the lead, but also step back. I mean, that's what sports give you as a kid anyway, right? Um,
Yeah,
the your best player wasn't always your captain, but your captain was usually always your best leader. And if your captain wasn't your best player, then you can also see how your best leader knows where they fit on the team. And that's just something that's always so beautiful about it. And I mean, you were getting to a point there where I was starting to hear like the those who can't do teach, right? Because how many great players actually turned into great coaches,
yeah, exactly.
and the only one that
Jordan.
yeah he didn't, right? He never had a successful franchise as a head of operations.
Yeah, because it takes a completely different person personality traits, right? It's just like I don't know if he expected everybody, but he drafted bad and everything. Man, it's just like he couldn't.
The only one that ever comes up to me is Frank Robinson. He's the only one who's considered an all-time great at their position that has been a great coach. He's widely considered one of the greatest third basemen of all time, and had incredible success as a manager. Other than that, it's not like Tom Brady or Joe Montana or Peyton Manning are head coaches right now. right? And they have the
No.
spirit desire to be there. There's NFL Hall of Famers. Mike Ditka is a Hall of Fame tight end. Does anybody ever put him in the top tight ends of all time? And he won a Super Bowl as a coach, right? But no real Hall of Famers become great coaches. It's just not what it is. But knowing your place on the team and knowing where you can fit, I definitely know for me, like I'm definitely more of a Hall of Fame coach than I am a Hall of Fame player. But I definitely know how to be in the right place on a team until it's my time to coach. And I think that's just where you have to find your value in life to, like, again, like we're going through this show, right? And you came to me early on and you're like, hey man, why don't we do something together? Cause you're really good at this talking thing. I'm like, well, thanks man. Appreciate that.
So true.
But I had to admit to you, like up front, dude, I know nothing about production. And like,
Yeah.
I've had a show for over 5 years, but it's because I found a way to upload how I talk. And that's why I put everything on the podcast feed. Cause like, that's how I consume content. Other than that, I've tried YouTube with streaming and all that stuff, dude. I don't fucking know. I can learn it, but every time
We're gonna get some help, dude, because I don't know any of that stuff
but
either.
that's like every time I tried to learn it, like I would hit an impasse where I didn't feel comfortable in my understanding of this tech, this all these systems, or there'd be a financial barrier of entry that was like, well, I can't afford $100 a month for whatever you're trying to sell me, and I don't know enough to decipher and due diligence. Do I need this kind of software? So like we're kind of lucky right now. We got Streamlabs. They're putting up on Vivor. It's free, but in order to go on like several different platforms at once, yeah, you got to do a subscription and then make sure like how they're moderated. Dude, I'm done. I'm not a tech guy.
No. See,
But
with
we can.
and with
It's just hard to balance it myself, and
yeah, yeah, there you go. That's
for
why I think it'll be good, and like why we're going down the path that we're going, because I need to do something for a little bit and then see the process, and then I'll tinker with the process. And I'm a process and take it apart, put it back together. I enjoy that actually, and then just finding a flow with it.
so do I.
So where most people may get stressed with that, that like gets me going.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I needed to get comfortable speaking on these things, bro. Like I know people say I sound confident, but I think I used to, shit, it hasn't happened, but my palms used to get sweaty before I would get on any of these spaces. In the beginning, I would say like a lot. I'm sure I still say it, but I started listening back and I go, oh, I don't, why did I, why, so judging myself, I don't do that anymore. So I just needed, this is the 11th episode here, right? 12 on blockchain banner. Yeah, man, I feel comfy. Like we're here.
Dude,
We're
so
here.
my very first, so I started the show on August 21st, I think it was. For the first 2-3 weeks in August, I would like do trial runs of like a podcast to like, get the kinks out and shit. Bro, I would, because I would be watching the graph, the audio graph of doing the recording while I'm recording, and I'm like, I'm trying to talk and make sure it's working and all these things, and I had no confidence to just like let it go, and I would get exhausted trying to talk because I couldn't, I was getting overwhelmed like with all my
Yeah.
emotions going at once. And I was like, and then I listened back the first time, and I was getting anxiety, like it was my blood was pumping so strong, and I was like again losing my breath just listening because it didn't feel natural at the time. And now we
Mm,
just sit around and talk as if we're on the phone or in the room together, and it's like, okay, now we're just talking. And that's always
yeah.
been my advice. It's just like if you want to do it, no, just talk to me like you're talking. The only time it gets tricky is when you're trying to like double dutch with each other, right? Like who's going to jump in here and all that. And if there's like a half a second delay in the headphones, then the whole conversation can really just get messed up. But you learn quick, like just where to pause, and then the conversation just takes itself over. So it's a bit of a dance. And sometimes I still
It
get a little
is.
comfortable. Sometimes in these spaces when I'm waiting to speak, I'll get a little flutter. Like
Yeah.
yeah, because you want to do well, and you want to present information or be a part of the conversation. And it's specifically in the Caspa community. Fucking Levendi, is he still in there? Yeah, he'll have 400 people in the waiting room just sitting around listening, going to speak to that crew, and they expect things like Rory when he came in last week. I listened to that 3 times, man. Like what?
I did twice too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's where the clip came from.
yeah. But that kind of energy, like that's now an expectation. So you want to be on par. So yeah, I still get nervous every once in a while too.
Try it's
But
healthy.
I get pumped.
I think it's healthy to feel that out, man. And then just like, it just the execution of it is just natural and flows now.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, you
And
definitely.
I look forward to all these conversations, man, because it's like I said, during the times when I'm telling you, I'll be in a full on sweat, hot yoga, in a warrior pose, and I'll be like, damn, that Caspa thing, and it's something that I talked about will just come together, and it's like, oh shit, it makes sense. The security budget tool that Odie put together, and and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool how it's just constantly there, and I don't fight any of it. It just comes in and flows, and Um, but yeah, well, we don't prep for these calls, and I don't we do the same thing. I have a conversation with Kara before we get on, and we're like, let's go with it. And she helps with the structure and that, and helps flow that conversation. So yeah, man, we're gonna keep doing this, no doubt. Having fun
For
with it.
sure. For sure. Yeah, we
Listen,
gotta. Go ahead.
my I think my laptop's gonna die here.
Oh shit.
So
All right. Do you want to give a shout to the audience, or do you think you have like 10 seconds left?
yeah, if you may lose me on Vivor is the only thing. So I'm good
Okay.
with my phone.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah. If that's the case, let's open up to the floor anyway. And see if anybody wants to hop on, say anything, and we'll get ourselves in position to, maybe another 20, 30 minutes.
Cool.
Awesome. I'm gonna pee real quick.
Yeah, request if anybody wants to come up and say what's up. Let's see. Hmm. Pass me. What's up, brother?
Hey guys, I just wanted to come up and chat with you, and I've been kind of in and out during the conversation, taking calls and stuff, but you guys are super consistent, so keep up the good work. It's really exciting to see every Monday. I mean, Mondays are basically covered with um, Caspa spaces. You have Lavendi, and now you have you guys. So Mondays are like covered. So that's awesome. Congratulations to you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate that big time, man. And yeah, I appreciate what you're doing because I know you're busy running spaces and doing your thing. So we appreciate what you're doing with the community as well. Yeah, man, these are fun. These are fun conversations to have on a weekly basis, and being consistent and showing up is what it's all about. So thanks for showing up, man, and supporting. We appreciate that.
Always, always, and I didn't really catch the part. I'll graze over it, call it whatever drama had unfolded between you and someone else. I didn't see the drama or hear what you guys were talking about, but as someone who's really put myself out there lately, there's going to be supporters and there's going to be haters, and there's going to be 5 supporters and 1 hater. And for some reason, that hater stands out more than the 5 supporters. Maybe that's just me, you know. But it's part of it. It's definitely part of the success. And if you had 0 haters, you should be concerned about that. So
Yeah, you're not doing something right. Is that the saying? Like you're not doing something right if you don't have some haters. But
somewhat.
that hater turned into a lover, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but
Supporter. Supporter.
not the right word. But anyways, yeah, we're good now. So And yeah, Bishop was sticking up for a little post that I edited and put up that the community liked, and he, instead of retweeting it, he put it up like it was his own. And Bishop didn't like that. I wouldn't have probably seen it. I didn't follow the guy and don't really look at my
No, it
timeline
came
like that.
across my feed. It came across my feed as if I think it was just in the like recommended for you section, and I was like, "Oh, is that recommended for me? I think I know why it is." So no, I stick up for my guys. This community has been so positive to me that, as I said before, I just wanted to make sure that. I mean, you just said it, Casmi, right? Like the voices in this community, in order for us to become one, our voices can't be taken. And even though it was a clip from Blockchain Banter on Wednesday, it's Juan who's trying to generate the views on the content, and that's going to help strengthen his ability to be a voice in his community. I know that's not necessarily the reason why Juan did it, but if we're going to be trusted as members of this community, then our content needs to stay to us. So we are the ones that do it. And when Juan created that clip, it was to shout out what was happening on Blockchain Banter with those who were doing it. So to have that kind of taken away, it shouldn't be. And I'll fight all day for that.
Yeah, I see. I see. It's people will take content and make it their own, and it's kind of part of getting. It's a part of getting big. It's definitely a
Well,
part of getting big.
and the guy became a follower because he's a Caspian anyway. So
Yeah. He has a YouTube channel.
he
I
just
think
went
he's
about it the
interviewed
wrong way.
Silver. Yeah, that's what caught us by surprise initially. I'm like, all right, that's what you're going to be. That's what I'll remember you as. It's like I'm not going to think about you though. And this got more on Bishop's nerves than mine. I was just in there being like, hey, bro, if you just let it go, and he's just calling you out, and you didn't just retweet it. What's the big deal? That's what most people do, I think. Um, because if let's say he didn't, because he apologized, he ended up he put me down as the person who put the edit up, and then he apologized, and again, we made up and we're good now. So I think that's all that matters.
That's awesome, man. And if I could just take a moment to shout out Banana. I don't know if he'll come on stage. I know he types in English. I don't know if he talks in English, but Banana has created and this is something that you might be interested in, Juan. Actually, Lavendi's had his hand up. I'll step back, actually. Let Lavendi come up.
Yo, all
What's
good,
up,
man.
Lavendi?
Yo, what's
What's,
going on, guys? How we
What's
doing?
up,
what's going
sir?
on, brother?
Good,
We're
I'm
good.
good.
We're good.
I think there might be a bit of a delay, connection, but it makes this conversation a little bit awkward.
We
But all
can hear
good.
you good, so just go for it.
Okay. Awesome. I've been having some struggles today. Hopefully, it's not going to be the case in 2 hours. But I just wanted to chime in real quick on that screen recording. So for me, I don't really mind if there's community members that are making recordings, pictures, content from the show, because the show is recorded and you can see who's participating in it, especially from our own community. If it was somebody random outside of the community trying to take full credit and get paid for the content, then I would go bring my hammer down on them. However, I feel like these little things are key to the success of everybody. Taking the clips or pictures and spreading it around means that adoption is there organically. We don't have to say to people, oh, can you do this clip for me? Can you do that? Can you post it? It's for me, I like that because it shows that there's genuine interest and people are genuinely taking the time to make a clip and send it out there and spread the word. So one side, I really do agree that keeping the content, like tagging the people in content that you're spreading is key, especially if you're gearing your post towards getting paid. That is a big no-no. But if it's just for organic spreading of word of mouth and stuff, personally, I don't feel like it's that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the clip, I wasn't even in the clip, so I'm not sure. Well, I tagged you and Chris and the KII, and then he literally went into that, what I downloaded, and tagged you, Chris, and the KII on, and he downloaded the video, and then he just copied what I said at the top and just tagged the KII. So he didn't,
Right.
instead of retweeting it. So that's why I can see why
Right.
Bishop got a
Okay.
rise out of it, because it's like, just retweet it. Um,
Fair.
and
Yeah, I didn't see
I
the
didn't, I'm
full
like,
full
well, I
situation.
felt the way I'm with you, Levendi. It's like, just get the content out. I'm not getting paid. I'm not a paid account on X or anything like that. I don't even know anything about that. Um, but the fact that it bothered somebody in the community is, good to bring some awareness to it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
totally agree. I mean, if it bothers you, speak about it. Yeah, for sure. I did not see this situation you guys are talking about
yeah,
unfold.
yeah. That's what because
Yeah.
you got tagged on the post that Bishop is saying, that just retweet that. Because then I guess, my name would have showed up, but yeah, no, he didn't tag you. He did the same exact post and just took out you and Chris and me, and just put down the video that I edited it really quick and posted. So
Where did this? So let me see who it was, because I feel like, was it through the blockchain banter account? That the
no,
Yeah, unfolded.
I posted it from my account.
Let me see, because I think I saw some type of notifications when I was making a post about all of our stuff. Let me just. Oh, is it this Cybergent guy?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was that
he
one.
used to be a Casper ambassador, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, that's what he had on his page. Yeah.
Still is, yeah. I think he was building. He used to be named something different. He's been on the show a few times. I've spoken to him a couple of times on the timeline. He used to build, or I don't know if he's still building, the metaverse or something, Casper related meta. I'm not sure if that kicked off or anything. The last time I spoke to him on the show, he was working on that.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't take kindly to me defending my guy. And that's kind of really what I was doing. Like, as I mentioned before, I wanted to make sure that as we're building what we're building, people trust Juan's voice as much as I do. And I didn't want Juan to be not given credit for putting up that video, especially, I guess, for how much I was moved by what Rory was talking about. That that the support, so you guys can, I mean, blockchain banter every Monday is it's must listen to now. Like, it, as much as I've listened to it, for me personally, like, as much as I've listened either retroactively or not, I mean, at 4 o'clock I'm putting in the headphones, and whatever I need to do at that time, I'm listening to the show, because even you guys were ready to wind down the show on Monday. Rory comes on and gives an extra hour and a half that was just gold. But if that gets taken away from you guys, and Juan's association with blockchain banter gets taken away, then how will you become a consistent voice of the community? And that's where I felt when I saw him take away that credit from that information in that post. I was like, hold on. This is where people need to be to continue to get this kind of information, specifically through those sources, and that's why I
Yeah.
got defensive about it.
Yeah, no, very, very valid point, to be honest. I mean, if I saw a friend's work being plagiarized and felt a type of way, I would speak up for sure, 100%. The thing that we must remember is, though, the show is always going to be here.
Yeah.
Blockchain banter is always
Yeah.
going to be associated with now 6 of us starting from
Yeah.
tomorrow, which is
Yeah, promote. What's
crazy.
the
It's
new show
exciting,
coming
man.
out?
Big YouTube. So we're tackling YouTube as Blockchain Banter. Moving forward, we're gonna have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday Blockchain Banter variation shows. Monday with me and Chris. Tuesday with Quick Crypto and Crypto Pumps, and Wednesday, of course, with Juan and Kara.
Awesome.
First part of the week, we got you covered.
That's fantastic.
Beautiful. We got to get some Thursday, Friday shows in there. Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, one step at a time. Let's get everyone used to this. Ideally, like, my dream was to have a blockchain banter show every single day. But I tried to do something last year with it, but it didn't really sort of land. But now people got used to your guys' show on Quora. It's part of their routines to join you, and I want to try and make the same with the boys on the Tuesdays. Once we've got all of that in place, and there's a need to create another show, maybe with two new other hosts that come out of nowhere, and we get inspired to bring on, then we can implement them.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. Yeah, we had a big, so we moved the show an hour earlier on Wednesday night, and we had a nice turnout after being away for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
So
big
that
turn.
was awesome and a great conversation. Odie was on there. So yeah, man, appreciate it, brother. Appreciate what you do, and thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, keep it up, Lavendi. You guys are doing awesome work.
Thanks, man. Appreciate the love, and likewise, Juan. You are absolutely amazing, man. Don't let these little things get to you. On timeline or whatever happens, you just continue
I
plowing
got
on
my
doing what
pit
you
bull. I got my pit bull over here. I got my pit bull Bishop. So
do.
he can take care of the light work. So no,
Legend.
I didn't get riled up. So.
Legend. But yeah, I'm gonna have Crumpet Media out soon as well. You can write all about how much you hate people.
Oh yes, yes, sir. Looking forward to that.
Hell yeah.
I'm hoping within the next 7 days, but we'll see.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Good stuff, Lavendi.
Beautiful. So I see we have OX 444. Never had you on.
Yeah, I just wanted to shout out
Okay.
Banana real quick. Sorry about that. Just I know you've been talking a lot about in real life businesses, and Banana has developed a app that is a POS system that accepts Kaspa. So it's definitely worth checking out. There's no charge to go on and check out the demo. Businesses can add products to their POS system, and it all just would appear on their phone as a POS. So it might be something worth just checking out, Juan.
Love it. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't aware of it. So I'll have to check that out. I see we follow each other. Sweet. Thanks for sharing that, man. Oh, and we have them requesting too. So
Yeah, I just approved them. Juan, it looks like we lost you on the Vivor. You said your computer's probably going to die. Is that the case?
yeah, I have another
Okay.
one here. Let me try to get on.
If not, we can just shut the Vivor down and continue on Spaces.
No, you're good. I'll be able to get on Vivor on this other one, as long as I can get in the same stream. So
Okay.
let's
OX Triple, go ahead.
Oh, yo, Jam, everyone. Jam,
GM,
host and the
welcome.
co-host. Yo, so I'm so glad to be here. I just hop on this page, just want to chill, and I'm enjoying this space so far. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it. Appreciate you supporting. Banana, welcome to Live on the Kaspa Standard.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, sir.
How's everyone doing today?
Wonderful. Just turned 41 yesterday. Feeling like I'm 40 and a couple extra days old.
Oh, yeah. I'm almost 42, so
Nice.
I know the feeling.
Doesn't feel much different than 40, but I'm here.
Yeah, 40 is the worst. As Kazmai was talking about my project, so because I was in the beginning with Kazway, and unfortunately my partner has to take a pause because he has some big problem in his personal life. So I start making something different. So the idea is, at first I only have Kaspa as a payment method. So because I'm always every Monday listen Lavendi and Chris and Ashton and everyone that speaks in the blockchain banner. So one day Ashton told something like, it's good, the community in Kaspa, but we are sharing and talking and spreading the word, always inside an echo chamber. So
Yeah.
what I did is I took more communities and more crypto as a payment method, but I put Kaspa with special prices, special discounts, and best features if you use Kaspa. So I start to publish and talking with people in Solana, Ethereum, Polygon now, and HBAR. My idea is to bring more people from other communities to at least check and look and search and see what Casper is really is. So it starts getting more people from other chains to use Casper. Today I have 3 more stores that are starting to use the app, and they are coming from Polygon.
Oh wow.
So they saw that if they use Kaspa, it will be better. So now they are starting to buy Kaspa. So one thing leads to another. So that's my strategy from the beginning, since I think we need more adoption, more eyes from other people. If we want to go even forward, we have a lot of tools making. People are working and developing a lot, and I can't wait to see what Caspaton will bring to us and Vprox. Let's see.
Awesome. Yeah,
the
it's
the app is working everything, so you don't you only need to sign with your Google account. You can create a new one to not mess around with your email personal. So you are the one that choose your own wallets. You take control of everything as a business owner. You can create staff members that will, your employees only can do the sales and see the history if goes on or off. Everything is on it's automatic, so you will get confirmation in blockchain in every payment the your client choose to make. You can import all of your products, categories, prices, stocks, even clients with tax number, without. You can work around the way you want or the way you need, because if you have already a point of sale system, the traditional one, you will need to get a lot of products to the new app. So I create a system that will not interfere with anything with your already POS system with this new app. So you can just simply import or edit or remove. You can put thumbnails, images, you can create on the go, you have a QR code. You will never connect any wallet or anything. Just sign in with email, and then you can just use it.
Yeah, that
wow.
sounds amazing. I'm surprised. I'm not sure if I had heard about it. I'm familiar with you, Banana, but yeah, this is pretty cool. So the name is, you said it's is it Castway POS? Is that what it's
No, 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 no. Casway, it's on pause. It's not doing anything
Castway's
for
on
the
pause?
moment.
Okay, because I recall Castway.
Yeah,
So
So what's
what's the
the
name of
app?
the app that what's the app that you're talking about?
on-chain POS.
On chain POS. Okay,
It's on my profile website.
I see it. I see it. Yeah, it says CEO on chain
Yeah.
POS. Okay, great. Awesome, man. Well, thank you for sharing that. I'm gonna have to check this out. And
Yeah, I hope so. And any feedback, any new ideas, it's always welcome. And I just want to improve and get things better. So
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
I'll
I'll
spend.
check it out and give you some.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to spend some time with it and see how it feels. That's awesome. Wish the best for you.
thank you.
Just ask real quick. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Banana, you guys got any plan on integrating one-tap payment NFC technology?
Yes. So what I'm trying to do this morning was because if you want to provide such an app like a POS system, you need to have some regulamentations and some procedures that MICA papers needs and all that crap. So what they want is I can make the regulation right away and start using with no problem with the legal stuff, but they want me to. So you pay in Kaspa. They want me to automatically, the Kaspa, the business owner receive, needs to be converted right away to a stable coin or to fiat. In my mind, the idea of receiving in crypto or get crypto payments, it's to get away from the traditional financial system. So I not going on that path. What I start to do today was someone in Tangent uh, gave me an idea to create an offshore company in Dubai or some tax free. So I start
Banana,
to
good one.
make the appliance to that. And on top of that, I have another person trying to get like a ATM machine, where those machines that you pass the cards, the physical cards. So I'm trying to get one of those, and you just can just have like a smartphone and you have a QR code or NFC tap to go, and the payment will be like that way. But
Cool.
it takes a lot of effort and
It
it's
it does. I just
expensive.
real quick before we derail from that quickly, I just wanted to add the reason why I'm asking you is because of what this space is missing right now is an easy bridge for quote unquote the normal person. The normal
Yeah.
person doesn't give a fuck about scanning a QR code or paying in crypto. They give a shit about being quick and getting their product and sitting down on a table to eat and be with their friends. One tap payment does that for them. Then the normal customer is not going to sit there to spend half an hour of the time to learn where they can buy crypto, where they can download the wallet, how it's going to work, what's going to scan to save all these seed phrases if there's a seed phrase and all of this stuff. The normal person is not going to do that. So we now must find a bridge to bring them over into our industry or bring the industry over to them without them realizing what it is that's being used. And I believe that one tap payment NFC, regardless of whether you need to convert it in between to stable coin or fiat, that right there will be key in bringing them over, or us bringing the industry over to them. It's something that we've been working on with Wolfie's Bar. It's a challenge that we came across the last 6 months, and we was racking up brains. We've had plenty of meetings on how best to combat this and bring the normal person over to us, or us over to the normal person. It's a real head scratcher, but there are solutions out there, and there are ways that you can integrate even I don't know if I can verify this 100% myself, but with stable coins coming out possibly this year already to public, that can also be integrated via an L2 for now until VPROGs come through, where it should make it easier to have a Kaspa Direct one-tap payment and it being a Kaspa treasury rather than coming back to stablecoins, etc., etc.
Yes, I agree 100% with you. And yes, I already have something that works like that, like just a simple tap with a card, even with Tangent Pay. The
So
problem is it's
you
expensive, and
okay?
it's not that expensive. The problem is I already have a guy that has the machine, and that could be implemented on the machine, since most of the TPM machines, mobile, it's on an Android system. So it's not difficult, to be honest. It's easy to do. The problem is the first amount of money you need to have. We can even convert euro or USD dollars to Kaspa, but that takes at least 5 minutes. Now, because we don't have stable coins, and you know more than I do all that stuff. But yes, it's possible. I already have the plugin ready to go to that type of things that people need. People, I understand, like if I go to a restaurant and I don't have crypto, I just want to pay, but the business owner wants to receive in crypto. I get it, but that will have some charges
Right.
to the business owner, because he needs to tax everything that he does like that.
Right, but that's dependent on each jurisdiction, and if you've got customers from around the
Yes,
world where
correct.
you're from. But
Yeah.
if you're doing it in the correct way, that is not a hindrance at all, and you can have a wallet, let's say, that is a one tap NFC technology through all different chains without having to have a direct off ramp or on ramp solution through there. It will be a case of just transferring the stock to that specific wallet and then just tapping with your phone to pay, and it will be taking that from your wallet and transferring it to the business without having to worry about all that in between micro regulation stuff. If you take off ramping and on ramping away from the equation, then you'd find all of those legalities go through the window, and you can have more room to breathe.
Yes, you're right. I can do one workaround with the already plugin that I have, and I can see the best way, because the plugin can work on only in Android. Unfortunately, iOS it's more restricted to that, but it's possible. It's not impossible, but the plugin can work on a smartphone or an iPad or iPad, no, tablet in Android. The plugin can work on there. But that will do just one part. That plugin needs to be connected to the system itself. What I did is, so the plugin works inside the same Wi-Fi network, and makes the the reading and the everything to the POS system, a computer or a smartphone or whatever you have the app running. And you can print the receipt. You have receipts. You can print. You can PDF them, download. You can email to the client. So you can do all that. I didn't manage yet to put that working like you are saying, because I don't have the machine to do that. One machine costs at least almost $200, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So are the business owners want to pay for their own machines? If I was a business owner, I will pay, because I will not have any fees for the rest of my life. But most of the owners are still skeptical. I don't know. Maybe a different device that doesn't request a lot of programming or something. I will start looking more onto that, and see if I can manage a different way to compensate both sides. You give me an idea. I will start to working on that today.
It does.
Awesome.
It does sound like you're close because you're right. $200 is a good entry fee to never have to pay for fees again. That would be a fantastic solution. So if there was a way for you to market it to these companies to get them to buy in, but also if the app worked, because I know some businesses now, maybe not in particular service restaurants, but some businesses have a store cell phone, and that store phone could have the tap to pay. Or there's some restaurants that have tablets at the um, at the table, and you end up paying yourself while you're there. If there was an app option that can be downloaded to those, I mean, that's just just spitballing out loud. But I definitely think you're onto something, and you seem like you're very close to that end point. If something ever comes up that I think that your software would be or your application would be applicable to, I'll definitely let you know
Hey,
because I think you're very
Banana,
close.
have you seen this this new? I can't remember the name of it. It's you can send cash from email to email. I wonder if that type of technology can be implemented in this NFC one tap pay without having to use wallets. The normal person would be more inclined to use emails to pay rather than a wallet.
Yes, it's possible. The problem is they, I could be wrong, but I think they use a middleman wallet. So that wallet receives the fund and then sends to the email.
Right.
So you need to trust a lot
Yeah.
when you have a middleman getting your funds before you. So I tried the app. It works. It's really good. But I don't know if the middleman will be some kind of trusting point in the future for the business owners. I don't know. Maybe. The problem is it's really hard to put Kaspa working on any kind of that type of situations because there's not too many codes, open source to, so we can use. It was a pain in the ass just for having the QR code corresponding and the exchange rate about the price and everything. So in Kaspa, it's really hard compared to the other ones that I have. It's really hard. It took me almost 1 month just to put everything together and okay, now it works because I removed the wallet part. So there's no middleman. It's only your wallets, that you choose. So I hope Vprox can help with that, challenge.
Yeah, I hope so too, man. I didn't know if there was a middleman included there in transferring between the emails. Yeah, quite rightly so. You don't want to be trusting that. You want that power in the user's hands. So if there's a way where you can email to email, that will be awesome. But yeah, no, I agree. It's hard to implement Casper L1 on a lot of tech. It's a heavy lift for any dev. Experience that onboarding other client or not clients, I would say partners now. We make them up tokenize. We're onboarding them to the tech, and it's looking at it behind the scenes is it's quite difficult. But I do
Yeah.
I would love to see some sort of normalized way, quote unquote normalized for those everyday person that can just seamlessly use our tech and pay with their money.
Yeah. Well, I think that will be possible in the near future. Maybe this year. There's a thing that will happen for sure because they are rushing everything. They are pushing a lot crypto to be more acceptable. So let's hope that. I still don't. I can't confirm that the email to email use a middleman because I didn't confirm that with the guy that makes the app. But it looks like that, but I'm not really 100% sure.
Lavendi, I did want to take this time to let you know I am Team Android as well. I never get the opportunity on Mondays to say that.
Man, you saw me fist bumps and laughing there when Banana said it. Huh?
I saw you.
Banana, I want you to say that to Chris's face next time, please.
Yes, I will do that. Well, I use both systems. I use Android for some stuff, and I use iPhone for the other stuff.
What's an Android? What's that?
It's a
Oh
better version of
no.
an iPhone.
I'm lost. I thought we were talking about Kaspa here. What's that? What? No,
So iPhone is kind of like the
yeah,
Bitcoin Cash.
that's the only one
It's
that
like the
exists, right?
Bitcoin Cash of Bitcoin,
What?
right? And
No, it's like the
and
Kaspa. You're
Android is
wrong.
Caspa to smartphones. Just know
No. I don't know who I'm talking to right now. I'm gonna mute myself.
that.
Elliot, come on up, man.
Yeah,
Elliot, come
Elliot,
on up.
welcome back. Good to see you.
Yes, thank you. I was just gonna chime in here because I heard a bit of the conversation, and I was just thinking, there's many paths to an end goal, and it sounds to me like often one of the paths is this heavy tech workaround, which also has a lot of blockers in place. I'm thinking, is there not a more straightforward solution right now with what is available? So something that's more like Visa, MasterCard via a third-party fintech. So this is much more in the near because it would only require a regulated issuer deciding, if it's worth supporting Kaspa specifically. So this would be still, Kaspa to fiat. But if we're talking about true Kaspa native debit payments, so no fiat conversion or minimal intermediaries, I feel like that's still quite a long way out because this is blocked by regulation, volatility, merchant risk. It's not a tech problem. It's all these other blockers, which can totally change as we see. The government is talking about Bitcoin reserves. We never thought that would happen. So things are changing, so it can happen faster. But I'm just wondering, like in the short term, if it doesn't make more sense to go more of a third-party fintech provider. So yeah, something like a Stripe Treasury or Solaris Bank in the EU, something like that.
There's something that Juan kind of puts me on in situations like this, and it's more like what can it do now? And I don't want to speak for Juan, but this is what's coming to me in this moment. What can Caspa do now, and how do we utilize that? So if we go too far away from what it can do now into what the old system looks like, in my opinion, would that then become kind of where Bitcoin now has become lazy and choose not to innovate going forward because, hey, we made it work. So I don't necessarily know if diving into the fintech would be beneficial to Kaspa, because then Kaspa would just look like any other coin at that moment, as opposed to, if McDonald's had McDonald's.cas, then you can just send them from your wallet right to their wallet for your Big Mac. So I don't necessarily know if trying to merge with fintech would be beneficial to Kaspa, except for the fact that they can now see it listed there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. I guess, I don't know. I think it's, again, there's many different paths to the end goal, and
Yeah.
that is one path, which is taking a half step forward by using existing fintech availabilities, Visa, MasterCard, third parties, because otherwise, to reach the end goal with the path that is being talked about a lot, disregards the fact that we still need deeper liquidity, more exchanges, proven demand, regulatory comfort, oracles, etc. So there's a lot of building to reach like that.
Yeah, and you don't want to get left behind. So if you
Yeah.
can, yeah, so if you can be a part of what's happening now, I see that point. That's a good point. Uh, Casmi, you got your hand raised?
Yeah, I'm color careful. Um,
Did we? I think we lost them.
Yeah, we had we had to return him as a speaker a few times.
Can you
Casmi,
hear us,
aka
Casby?
Mr. Rugg.
yeah, sorry about that. I'm Mr. Rugg
Oh, there we
today.
go.
Definitely, definitely. Um, yeah, I think so. Off of this point, a lot of. First off, I have a question. Um, I use a Square, and I have it on my phone. It's an app, and I actually also work with businesses who have Square as a payment terminal, but they also have the app on their phone. And Square is pretty cool because I have an iPhone and I don't have any special tech associated with it to accept NFC payments. So, Banana, what is different about? Um, are you like is attaching NFC to an app or your POS system on the phone an option?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, I'll keep it short. So I have Square on my phone, and I have Tap to Pay. I didn't have to do any special integrations or sign up for any special software. If I want to accept a payment from a client, they just have to tap to pay on my Square account. Is there any type of integration that you could do with on-chain POS to do Tap to Pay if on-chain was an app on the phone?
Yes. It it's already working with the tap and go, but you need to have a device that has NFC on both sides. So you can use your smartphone to act like a POS device, and you don't need to buy any new devices. The problem is the tap and go. That's why the device you're talking, you pay some fees, I think. They have some.
Definitely, I definitely pay
Yeah.
fees.
So my idea is remove that fees. So what I need to do is find a way that you can receive, but you will receive in crypto, the crypto you want. So the main problem here is the people that will pay in fiat, US dollars or any other, will pay the same way that he already pays for any kind of coffee or any gift they want to buy or whatever. The problem is the conversion from the fiat to crypto. That needs to be used now with on or off ramp. There's no way you pay in dollars and the client will receive in Kaspa unless they have a middleman that acts like Change Now do. They change Kaspa for stable coins and whatever, but there's always a middleman, a middle wallet that receives the funds and do all the things in the back end. You don't want that because we need to have instant confirmation. Because if I pay with my card, the business owner needs to know that he receives that payment regardless in fiat or in crypto. They need to know that the customer pay for that. So that's the main problem here, is to find a way that we can cut the middleman and go straight forward from customer to business owner. That's the tricky part because it's hard to make that and not using a third party app that do the back end process. I don't know if I explained correctly.
You definitely did. I totally understand what you're saying. Totally understand. Thank you for clarifying. And I'm excited about what you built, and I'll probably pick your brain a little bit in the back end later, in the DMs. Um, and I'm a little curious about the offshore stuff because I built Castmart with this similar intention, just kind of what Bishop said, build on what is available now. And as of now, we've only processed 2 sales. It's still a baby, but in the future, because I'm sort of playing as an escrow, I have to have some type of licensing. So I probably need to learn a little bit about what you have going on. And all of this is because Kaspa doesn't have smart contracts. If Kaspa had smart contracts, then I could put all of that on chain. So I'll be picking your brain later if that's all right.
Yes, yes, yes. I will appreciate for sure.
I just wanted to say also, does anybody else sometimes think in terms of like short, medium, and long term? Because I think that for a lot of things in Casper, we need to, as a community, come together for the short term as well as like the longer term vision. And this is kind of like across the board, not just with this topic on payments, but on everything, getting listings or increasing the social media presence or etc. Like there's the pie in the sky, but then there's also like the urgent needs.
Yeah, Elliot, I'm with you there, and I think that's why getting organized with it and kind of bringing this up or speaking to it right now, where you're saying, hey, what's the short term? What can we do now? Bishop talking about kind of how I put things in perspective on that. It's like, yeah, I think we do, and Cassmead saying that he built Cast Smart. Two is better than zero, so you're off of zero, and just like working with what we have and continuing to build and innovate. So yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
important to do that. And then we just need to probably help organize it a little bit. And, if that's your skill set to kind of talk more about that and again, get it organized.
Yeah, that's something I'm working on in the background. I will come forward very soon with this. I've had some meetings with Seb from Cast Maps, and that's a very good example. He's a very good example of being able to show this growth in the near term, not something like if everything was perfect in 10 years from now, but like actually now. And so what they're doing with like Caspathon and also like starting to grow out this university, kudos. This is going to be very powerful because it's sort of like this is kind of like back in the day whenever Facebook came out and they started signing on all these universities, and all of a sudden it became like wildfire. Every university student then wanted to have a Facebook.com account. And I think that's very powerful. It's just one piece of the puzzle, but once you start seeing like all the universities come on board, across all like the different crypto clubs at Harvard, Stanford, TU Berlin, etc., like that's one measurement of like, wow, this is really growing now. There's a adoption by the university aged demo. It's just one, but like to me, that's a concrete example of like what can be done right now and what can be scaled.
100%. And that, it's exciting. I don't know how many builders. I know it's over 100 that are signed up for Caspathon. And you just mentioned kudos. I mean, Seb has spoken on that, but yeah, you're right. That's going to show us what's going to happen here in the near future. And it's exciting what that could eventually lead to.
And I have to say, I was super excited by Rosario last time that I was on here, because this is like something completely different, from what I was just talking about with the university. But just this idea of having like physical space, community, Caspa, village, cities, beach, whatever. Like this is also
Yeah.
super exciting. It's very different, I mean, than than these other two conversations, but it's equally important because it just shows you like something super tangible that can be done in the real world, and not in theory, but actually in practice.
And Rosario let us know that he doesn't want to be there alone, so we gotta recruit people and get on over there.
Yeah, keep them busy, keep them entertained. Help detach while attaching to the same frequency. It's going to be a beautiful thing.
There's direct flights from Berlin to Palermo. I'm just saying.
Well, I got to fly out of
There we go.
Philadelphia, so we'll see. We got Gaze Ahead with a hand up. Welcome to the
First
show.
time speaker. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, what's up? Yep, I've been listening to you guys for a little bit on these spaces.
Much
I
appreciated.
had mentioned something in the Discord, the Kaspa developers chat, about a point of sale, and the idea I kind of had with it. I'm not sure if anybody's already doing it, but it kind of sounded like kind of aligned on the interest. But it was about accepting like other currencies and using Cas as like the
The Rails.
the rails for it. Yeah, and I don't know. I was thinking like, it still kind of would have that same issue with the middleman, but just at the beginning, and then kind of using Cas as like the treasury for the fees and stuff. Like all of it would kind of just go back into Cas, and using Cas for like the instant liquidations is kind of the way I was thinking about it. So just listening to you guys, and honestly, I'd love to be a part of it and help out in any way I can. So I shot a couple of you guys some DMs, but.
Awesome, man. Thanks for coming up and connecting. Yeah. The more people we get on this working together, the better, so.
Yeah, I would just say stay hyper aware of what's going on. I personally have the hardest time being a prospector with tech and describing and explaining. But I agree with you. I think it's been spoken a few times about. I believe Crypto Odie is working on a project as well that involves a Kaspa POS that's going to definitely be built on the rails. He mentioned an Apple Pay type scenario where the exchange would happen flawlessly. So whatever the receiver wanted to have is what they would have, and whatever the user would want to use is what they would use, and there would be an instantaneous transfer in between. But I believe they're a bit away from doing that, but that's all going to be built on the Kaspa rails. I was trying to look for the project while you were talking, but I couldn't find it just yet.
Yeah, he mentioned that he joined at Nexus, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's what it
Was
is.
it
Yeah.
Nexus?
Yeah.
Nexus, yeah.
Yeah, he mentioned that on your guys' show on Wednesday night.
Yep. So yeah, it's pretty cool that they're working on that, man. That Covenants plus. Yeah, there's so much here, man. This is a beautiful space to be in.
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to. Oh, sorry. I wanted to jump in and say one thing real quick, was just that for me, like the payment side is like the cherry on top. It's like the upper layer. It's going to probably take longer to crack, but when it cracks, it's going to be very powerful. But like right now, what I feel like would be extremely possible, and it's like in the near term, is to have something like anything from like a Twitch or YouTube or whatever that's on Kaspa rails, because all of that's digital, right? You can get paid in Kaspa digitally. There's no need for POS, So this is, to me, like the most tangible, like short-term win. If people can develop those sorts of things, and maybe probably I talked about it last time, but I see that like being something very powerful because the creators want to get paid, and they're always looking for the new platform to make it big on. And nowadays, everybody wants to be a content creator. It's like one of the best ways to make money.
You know what,
Well, the
Elliot?
robots are coming to take jobs, so that's what everybody's going to eventually have to be, Elliot. Like, we're all going to have to be creators of some sort of content. So we have to
You
talk
know
to each
what?
other, work together.
I am hungry to see people trying to tackle this issue and bring such ease of use to our world on mobile. To be honest, I would really, really would love to see more work around mobile, because this is going to be key to bringing this technology to the masses and the masses to the technology. Either way, it's not either or. It's both ways. And on a selfish note, I'd love to also build a way where you could post on Crumpet Media through your phone as well.
You know, that's something I got to give Casme credit for since I've been hearing him in spaces. He's been talking about how the lack of cell phone operability with Kaspa is truly holding it back. You know, and I think again, listening to Kaspa KI on your show, Lavendi, last week, the furthest thing from their willingness to use Kaspa has anything to do with a fucking cell phone. They want to flood the rails with this real world utility that makes us, people who are addicted to their phones, might not even be able to use Kaspa. If he solves the data and roaming issue with Kaspa, we won't be able to make peer-to-peer transactions because there won't be enough room. So like it's really interesting because Elliot brings up great points of the near, the far, and the future of what Kaspa can be. Are we talking coin adoption, which according to Parker, coin is just a feature, right? Are we talking rail adoption, which seems to have endless capabilities? So it's really wild, man. It's really wild what this could be. And as much as we can do on our phone, look, I downloaded a Castle wallet last week and did K-Social from my phone as opposed to laptop. And I found that to be pretty fun, but it was still through browser, not app, but it was all on the rails of Kaspa with Kaspa payment too. So we are so close, but so early. I mean, that's what I'm hearing from Banana's pitch as well, explaining his tech. He's so close, but we're so early. Kaspa truly is boundless.
If I said to you that somebody's already built something like that, they just need to integrate the Kaspa's tech, and it's ready. There's a lot more people and entities building that are not participating on X. That I can tell you. Coming off onto the back end the last few months, I've seen quite a lot, and some I've met through tokenizing, connected to others myself, but there's a lot, like Kaspa KII probably have had things like that in the back end invented already, and they're just using it internally and within their partners with no need for it to be public knowledge at all.
Right.
They came up on the show and they said Whoop Core was already out, but within their own bubble, right? Just to test it. So if that was just within their own bubble, I wonder how long before it was already out with them already testing it on mainnet without anyone being none the wiser, sort of thing. So what I'm trying to say is like there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes, just all in the right time. Everyone's going to come out. It's great to see both people building in the open and both institutions building in the back end, because all of it is going to play a role in the adoption. And what you say about the taking Kaspa in two ways when they spoke about the roaming fees and stuff, and you won't have space. Yeah, that's one thing that it can do, but Kaspa serves a greater purpose than that. So I don't think that will be a road that it would ever go down, to be honest. It was a fun conversation, and I thought it was entertaining, to be honest. Like, that blew my mind. But what I'd like to see is like more usability, more use case of the tech itself, not just the coin getting accepted, but like the one-tap payment NFCs, integrations, even other apps coming out in the future that can integrate into other things that people are already using and getting used to through their phones or through their laptops and PCs. But the mass adoption, it lies through phones, because that's just an increase in people around the globe that are using their devices rather than a laptop or a PC. Not a lot of people can afford to have a laptop or PC, but I can afford to have a phone. So like the way to get this tech out there is through that.
If you were to have Crumpet Media look or be utilized through phones such as Android devices, how would you like that to look? Dream scenario.
Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't
like
tell
a
you.
YouTube app, just click the app and here comes Crumpet Media right at you.
I mean, yeah, that would be awesome. What I'd like to also have is integrate an app, if you like, within wallets as well, and other apps. So, for example, let's say Castle Wallet, you can open it, and as well as storing and making your transfers, there'll be a little section somewhere where you can see the news coming through. It's like a news feed. Maybe even other bigger platforms as well, a little variation of that, or its own app. It could be the case, but all of these things just need to be looked into. The thing is, putting it as its own app is going to be hard because we're heavily built on block tech, right? And I don't think there is any app out there on the phone that is fully 100% reliant on block or blockchain technology yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. So if that is the case, then we would have to essentially invent a way. And yeah, I don't think that's going to be anytime soon, to be honest. But that's why I don't see a vision for it yet of what it would look like. I'd love to be have the ability to utilize phones.
Fantastic. Go ahead, Elliot.
I had two things to say. One is I would like to coin a term on this, a phrase on this live stream. The green tsunami is coming. And by that, I mean, this means everything related to transactions, volumes across many different areas, not just retail, but institutional, desert, DII, I think it's called. So everything that's happening with Warp Code, Core. So the green tsunami is coming. Then the second thing is do you guys know any place where you can meet other people who are developing or wanting to build? So back in the day, there was something called techcofounder.com, I think, which was just helping people like come together. This was in San Francisco, to come together and bring it, form teams to build new products. Is this in Discord maybe or somewhere? Because there's so many great ideas for products on Kaspa, but I haven't really seen any place where people are coming together to build.
Yeah, I'm not aware of that either just yet. I know a couple of the community members have mentioned having a Fiverr exist on Kaspa. If I'm not mistaken, part of Kasmi's Kasmart.org, you can list services, and maybe that's something where you can advertise working together. But I guess that would be more of a transactional relationship. I'm pretty sure you're talking more about like a brainstorming think tank situation where you guys can come together and build something for the cause, not necessarily work for hire.
Yeah, I think that's more of like almost freelancer type. But this is more like, and I think maybe it exists in Discord. I just haven't really dug into it. But I mean, I've heard so many great ideas. I think even Kaspa Commons had a long post once about all the possibilities, like Netflix on Kaspa, or just all different ideas that would work very well for Kaspa if you think about it, because of the payment layer. But I just don't know, like, if anybody's out there wanting to like collaborate and build those things together, because I would be interested.
Hey, Elliot. If you drop off the stage, I'm driving around in there and stuff. So conversations, but Elliot, as Bish said, you can post services for sale on Kasmart. A collaboration would be great. Something I noticed though, and this is even in my development skills and the projects I've developed, is it becomes my piece of art. It becomes my baby, And when I'm like working with someone, I won't mention anyone in particular because you never know where things will go. But I might be talking with someone that allows like a verification process from my app to their app, right? But we're still building our individual projects. And I noticed, like, I hired a developer to develop the card game that I have as well, Castbots. And he's so talented. I love it. He's an artist though, and he's owned this project like it's become a part of him, So sometimes, like, getting my ideas through to him in what it is I'd like the app to look like or do, I I can't break ground on it, and it becomes a minor point of friction. And we always work around it. He's super great guy, but I really of his ambition for the project. And I'm just wondering if you've experienced that at all, Elliot, or if you think that that would be a pain point in having like a collaborative development area.
I think I missed that actually because you cut out a bit.
Basically saying it, would you end up possibly feeling overprotective of your projects because of how personal they end up getting as you start to build them?
Me personally not, but I think this is like the classic dilemma with any company or startup, like tech startups. So, but I think there are like best practices that exist for that. And also people find out very early on if they're compatible to continue on the project together or not.
A lot of great stuff today. Juan and I have about another 5 to 10 minutes left in us. We've been going for 3 hours here. I want to thank all the speakers so far. If anyone else would like to add in over the next couple minutes, we can do that. Anyone else still on the stage that wants to brainstorm some more, we can definitely do that. If not, we're going to start wrapping it up. So we'll give you guys about another 5-10 minutes. Anyone else would like to request to speak? We'll take you as well.
And we've had some good action here towards the latter part of it, brother.
Yeah,
so yeah, I appreciate these guys coming on and brainstorming. There's a lot of back and forth here.
Used to be Tuesday at 11, now Mondays at noon, and the engagement is just going up and up every week.
Yeah,
some heavy hitters of the community always pop in the chat, in the looking box, if you will. I don't necessarily know what to call it, right? The audience. Rosario's been looking in over the last 30 minutes or so. Oh, one member, Trulia, who is all over the community all the time.
Yeah, she gifted me an NFT last week.
She gifted me a happy birthday yesterday.
Yeah.
I wanted to say happy birthday, Bishop.
Oh,
I hope you had a good one.
Thank you so much.
That carrot cake looked amazing. I hope you fully enjoyed that.
Every bite. I said earlier in the episode that I actually...
That was the first 30 minutes of the space was just him talking about his carrot.
I missed it. I'm sorry.
I finished it this morning. I tried eating it yesterday, just being with childlike enthusiasm and throwing a temper tantrum. I want to eat cake all day. I couldn't finish it.
But Bishop, is cake for breakfast not underrated?
It literally is. I mean, I love muffins, right? What is a muffin? It's cake. Yeah, cake for breakfast.
Carrot cake is kind of borderline.
Oh, it's got your veggies. Yeah, it's healthy. What are you talking about?
Yes, exactly.
And raisins. It was amazing. Loved it.
You're gonna have killer eyesight.
I've never seen a rabbit.
You should try this recipe. I'll find it and send it to you because I tried and it's great. It's with oats. It's like carrots, oats, and cinnamon, and it's like healthy. So there's no sugar in it, but it tastes like carrot cake, like really good. You can have that for breakfast.
My secret or my approach to all recipes is to use half the sugar. That's your best approach because especially with banana bread, it's already so sweet, so you don't even need that much sugar.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But I just wanted to say hi to everybody. I've been a listener, and I wanted to say happy birthday, and I hope you had a good one. So,
thank you so much, Trulia. You're the best.
Yeah, thanks for coming up and thanks for coming up and introducing yourself. We haven't heard from you. And yeah, I appreciate you because you're always in here supporting. And again, thanks for the NFT last week. Yeah, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming up.
I was just going through my NFTs and you dropped your KNS, so I was like, transferring to Juan right now. So
Thank you.
take care, everyone.
All right. Thanks, Julia. Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to selfishly end the show there. It can't get better than that.
It can't.
No
It
healthy
can't. It's a
philosophy.
good place to end it. Good, yeah. Plus, there's exactly. Plus, there's blockchain banner coming on after this at 4:00.
Yeah.
It'll be a banger as usual. So we'll give it an hour. Levendi's got to go prep and all that. So
Hell
we
yeah.
don't want to run into their show.
No, not at all. Not at all. Just real quick, I do want to shout out everyone who tagged me on Twitter for happy birthdays. Casme hit me up. James Zetterstrom, Trulia, Kaspa Queen, who also shares a birthday in the beginning of January. So shouts to Kaspa Queen and happy birthday to her. Neo, of course, every time I see that guy on Twitter, I just, it reminds me of when I fell in love with Kaspa. Neo's the absolute man. I can't get enough of seeing him. Hope he's doing awesome. Casper Lioness, who was on here earlier, she shouted me out for my birthday, and Giggsy as well. So I want to thank everyone for the lovely, lovely birthday wishes. My guy Juan, I'm just gonna let you guys know who Juan is if you didn't already know. Juan is out celebrating his life in Colombia, and he's having a great time. And we're sharing voice notes back and forth after the Packers lose, and this is at about 11:30 at night. He starts a voice note at 11:54 and decided to go for an entire 6 minutes just so he can end it by saying happy birthday. That's who this man is. He was out there living his best life and then decided that because we are reflections of each other, that he was celebrating his birthday as my birthday, as his birthday, just to say happy birthday at midnight. This guy's the fucking man. If you didn't know that already, then you definitely do now. Thank you all. What a great episode. I am at TW Takes Podcast. He is at Glitch in 888. And this has been episode 11 of Live on the Kaspa Standard. See you next week.
See ya. Appreciate you all.